knew I would make it this far. They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitted for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming, what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right. Ay, please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Ay, I can never let up even if you had enough. Ay, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat in submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, they coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk, I just show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling. They already know. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it safe. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming, what we doing, keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right, cause it can get big right.
All right. Locked in. Good evening. Woo. Excuse the late. We'll be back at it. It's a late night show, late night show. A lot to talk about. Wanted to tap in and do an episode, follow up on some things that's going. A lot's been going on in this space in the past 24 hours, to be honest with you. In the last 24 hours, a lot's been going on. So one opportunity to go ahead and speak on that, have that show, right? I'm a little off, man. I'm a little tired, man. I've been running around all day long. Woo! Bear with me, but a lot to talk about, a lot of perspective to put on the space right now. So much news coming out. Eddie Hearn, Matchroom making so many moves right now. Diego Pacheco news is in the space right now. Diego Pacheco has gone in separate ways, from longtime manager and trainer Jose Benavidez Sr., right? That's very interesting news to be coming out, being that he's expected to be in the ring in December without an opponent yet, but very interesting to see that. David Benavidez speaks up for himself in a very, very powerful interview he did, I guess, yesterday or today. I'm not too sure when the interview actually happened, but speaking up for himself, and a lot of news he really shared with the space as far as his management is concerned, as far as his future endeavors are concerned, as far as relationships with the PBC is concerned, as far as his perspective on Terrence Bud Crawford is concerned, 168 in general is concerned, and what his future is going to be at 175, as well as going up at some point or another to cruiserweight. I mean, really just spoke on a lot. It was really a real powerful interview, and I really felt like this particular interview, you could just kind of see David Benavidez really taking control of his career and kind of putting an exclamation mark on it, making the proper adjustments as far as his relationship with Samson Leakowitz in the future, and just how it's going to look as far as his next up and coming fights that are coming up. That there'll be no longer this negotiation or him referring to his team or getting confirmation from anybody. He is ultimately looking to be his own boss, which naturally, I think any great fighter, any great future face of boxing is going to ultimately hit that wall at some point or another and have to make a decision that David Benavidez is coming to. But we'll talk about that as well, of course. Manny Pacquiao still hasn't had his opponent officially announced yet. Up in the air, more than likely, probably going to be Rolly Romero. But I'm hearing rumors of potential, all types of nonsense, right? Conor Ben, you know what I mean? Gervonta Tank Davis, which I think is a not happening, obviously, right? But still looking to headline a card in December. We'll see how that ends up turning out. We got to talk about Eddie Hearns' new moves and how this affects Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis, this being his fight week, right? Saturday, he has his big event in Wells Fargo that he's going to be headlining. But how does this move with Eddie Hearn, with Rocnation, with Riyahd season, with all those moves that he's put together? How does this affect Jaron Ennis' future? And really, how does this affect the whole entire future of Matchroom? As Eddie Hearn seems to be showing that he is looking to compete at the highest level, right? With the entrance of Dana White and TKO, Eddie Hearn seems to be taking the bull by the horn, and looks like the moves he's making are going to affect the whole entire roster he has, from as low as Bam Rodriguez all the way up to as high as Anthony Joshua, right? As far as weight class is concerned and everything in between. We'll talk about that as well. And we'll talk about other things out there as well. Dimitri Bivol announcing, trying to make his return in early 2026. We have Rashidi Ellis has a fight that he's trying to get set up as well. So we got all that to talk about, and then some. Salute to everybody who is in the building, man. Salute. And of course, not doing it by myself tonight. I got my brother in the building. Shout out to my brother, Angelo Reyes. Let me get up for Angelo Reyes in the building. Reyes Johnson in the building. Woo! Good evening, Angelo. How you doing, man?
Salute, man. Salute. Blessed to be alive as always, my brother. Gotta always count our blessings, no matter how down things may seem. It's always up for us, man, because we're alive to breathe another day, Clay. To breathe another day. So I am very surprised, my friend, that you did not mention probably the biggest news.
What was
happening all over the UK right now? With my man, I've been watching him since he got the silver medal in the Olympics.
Oh, Ben.
One of my favorite prospects coming up. And they did that whole Jerry Maguire, Rod Tidwell reveal, bro. Loving Eddie Hearn for signing Ben Whitaker. Ben Whitaker, y'all, is about to be a global superstar.
Yeah. Big moves all the way across the ball, all the way across the board for Eddie Hearn, just in general. There's so much to break down as to what he's been doing. On the back end of this Dana White Paramount announcement, and with TKO, and Eddie Hearn seems to be the one promoter out of all the promoters in the space who's really embraced the idea of this friendly, healthy competition, right? And he's taking it as a personal mission of his own, right? A personal challenge of his own to go ahead and compete at the highest level with Dana White. Now, even though Dana White, being the competitor he is as well, has said, listen, I'm not competing against promoters, right? I'm competing against the NFL, the NBA. I'm competing against the biggest dogs in the building, and not lowly promoters. It is what it is, right? Boxing is what it is, and Dana White is stepping into somebody else's space. And some of these guys are willing to fight for it, right? They're not trying to convince the boxing space to discredit, or they're trying to dismiss Dana White's presence. They're like, oh, that's what's up, man. I like you doing it the way you're doing it. That's what's up. Let's go ahead and have it out, man. I'm gonna love competing with you at the highest level. And I think this move right here with Rocnation and Riyahd season, I think this is one of the key moves for him, right? This is one of the key pieces. He done moved his little piece on the chessboard and said, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and move this piece out on the board here, and let's have a good time. Let's have a go at it. Let's have a good go at it. Dana White and Eddie Hearn is game, isn't he?
Yeah, no, and I'll tell you what's funny is, if you guys who are listening to us on the ATP Combat Media, on Claymore Reigns YouTube channel right now, and you're on the chat, if you have not tuned in your Netflix and have seen The Greatest Showman, you guys need to go watch that documentary, because it really unravels everything that happens on a boxing scale, but also it also shows you how small the boxing world really is in compared to all the other things that are out there. And it gives you a perspective of understanding that. And I say this, Clay, because when Dana White talks about all these other little promoters, they don't think big enough. Well, I'm sure he didn't mean to say that when he's talking about someone like Eddie Hearn, because the Hearn family has been involved with sports in general. And not only that, my friend, they pretty much cornered the entire market on darts, which is a lot bigger than boxing. If you're, a lot bigger than boxing, and snooker, bro. Which again, UK fans, you guys call it snooker. In the Philippines, we just call it pool. But in America, we all know it as billiards, right? And I've always told you, man, in the Philippines, billiards, boxing, and basketball, those are the three, right? But snooker, bro, is huge. That whole thing. And Eddie even explains it, that the matchroom business, which, by the way, I don't want to ruin some of the episodes or the documentary for you guys, but it's really worth watching because you see the drama unfold. They caught Eddie Hearn on a live fucking conversation with his dad, talking about how Saudi wanted to purchase Matchroom, right? That's one of the things you see in this documentary. And again, not he hasn't confirmed nor denied anything like that's happening, but you have to understand that Eddie and his family have already thought bigger. Like what Dana's talking about, right? They already are. They're in so many parts of everything. And this Rocnation deal is not just a Rocnation with boxing, more so than it's a Rocnation partnership with Matchroom's entire thing of snooker and darts and whatever else they're putting their hands into. And keep in mind, Clay, they've already sold 10% of it to someone or to a group. So they're already kind of like getting into that scale that TKO Boxing was getting into. When TKO got WWE, then Endeavor, then UFC, right? Well, Matchroom's already been doing it. It's just that they've been doing it across the Atlantic. So Eddie Hearn isn't included in those statements that Dana White's saying, because if Dana White actually thinks, and I love you, Dana, but if you believe that you can go heads up with basically the biggest group of most powerful promoters outside of the United States, man, I'm talking about these guys. These guys, if they partnered with Dana, would make the UFC even bigger and across the Atlantic. Even bigger, dude. Right? So again, man, shout out to Dana. I know you're going to do all your things in the USA. But don't mess with Eddie, bro. Don't mess with Eddie. Eddie got money too. Got money too.
Eddie's definitely tapping into some resources, and he's always bolstered that, right? He's always said that, listen, we're the most liquid promotional company in the space right now. We are, nobody's really competing with Matchroom and what they're doing with the Zone. And like you said, their hands in so many different parts, different sports outside of boxing. Boxing just seems to be part of their whole thing, not their whole thing, right? And it really does bring to question. I wonder what the other promotional companies are doing and how they plan on competing, because Eddie Hearns clearly, not only is he got plans on competing, but he also has the confidence of Rocnation. He has the confidence of Riyahd season. They believe in what he's doing over there, and they want to get involved. If they're talking about purchasing it on any kind of level, that just shows you how much value Eddie Hearns built in his business model, right? In his brand that he's built. And with the signing of Ben Whitaker now, it kind of signals, like, even Ben Whitaker kind of, people are starting to take notice, like, this is where I need to be. I need to be over here. I need to be with somebody who's as passionate of the sport as his father once was, as Turkey Al-Sheikh is, somebody who has some real vision for the future of boxing. Eddie Hearn checks those boxes. You got to say Eddie Hearn checks those boxes. Salute to everybody's in the building. We got about 18, 20 people in the building right now. Let's make sure we're hitting the like button as we're coming in. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. We got a lot to talk about because we got to look to the future and see what exactly this means for boxing, right? And what does it mean for the fighters specifically on Eddie Hearn's roster? Specific fighters. I mean, he has a decent hold on a lot of the American boxing as well. A lot of American boxing, and obviously what's going on over in the UK women's boxing. Is he working with Sky Nicholson?
Yeah. So he is Sky Nicholson is basically as popular as she is because of all the things that Eddie Hearn has done for her and all the doors he's opened for her. And you know who's coming next, Clay? Your girl. Your girl's coming next. Carolyn Dubois.
Is she Matchroom or is she Queens?
She's going to end up signing with Matchroom, bro. There's no way that this Ben Whitaker ripple didn't just rip a lot of those fighters out. And Carolyn Dubois, I told you, that's the next one. If Eddie Hearn works with Carolyn Dubois, basically there's going to be a passing of the torch between Katie Taylor and Carolyn.
Right.
Mark my words, dude. Carolyn's going to be the biggest women's boxing star if she signs with Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn knows the stuff. He knows how to put it. He knows how to take an individual fighter and make them like grassroots market and then UK bigger market and then blow them up. Like, he knows how to do it. He did it with Katie Taylor. So
yeah, exactly. He did it with Katie Taylor. It's real exciting to watch what boxing is doing. You can't help but give the credit, a lot of the credit over to what Saudi brought to the space, right? Because they seem to be inspiring a lot of competition, not only in the ring but outside the ring with the promotional companies. They seem to be, gaslighting a little bit, right? A little bit of gaslighting. This right next to Turkey, kind of gaslighting Shakur, right, with the Tom and Jerry thing, and kind of having him like stepping up, like, what? Tom and Jerry, I'm about to show you. He's kind of doing that with the promoters now by bringing Dana White in there. He's kind of understood, has an understanding at least, that when I bring Dana in here, the UFC guy, these boxing guys are going to get their feathers ruffled. But this might be exactly what the boxing space needs to give it that charge it needs, that competitive. It needs that competitive spirit, like I said, not only inside the ring but outside the ring. And Eddie bit, right? Eddie's and he's like, oh, I'm down, bro. I call. He's pushed his chips in there too and said, all right, that's what's up, man. I got a decent hand over here too. I know. I heard about you. I heard you the big player. You get busy, but hey, man, we ain't shabby over here. We not, we're not playing with monopoly money over here. We're not playing with fake play money over here. We're playing with real money as well. And we got real aspirations and ambitions to make our stain in boxing. And we've been doing this whole time, trying to do it. So come join the club, Dana. Get in the fight. Come on, join. It's gonna be fun. Let's have a good one.
And I like that that the way Eddie approached it is different than a lot of how the other promoters approached it, because the way Eddie approached it was, welcome, bro. Yeah. Like, come on in, come on and join the fun of having to keep your one eye open while you're trying to sleep. Right. Come and join the fun of 24 hours of at any given moment your fighter can be taken away from you. Hence Ben Whitaker as an example, right? Like that rug was pulled right underneath Ben Shalom's eyes. And Ben Shalom just did a deal with the BBC, which is kind of like I don't want to say it's like the CBS deal. It's more like
it's like public television,
like PBS, right? Yeah. But you have to understand that in the UK, it's such a big network, dude, that if you are on those channels, the BBC, you pretty much become UK famous. And UK famous isn't a bad thing, because then you get sponsorships and everything else, right? So here's the thing. Ben Shalom, if I was you, this is me talking to Ben Shalom right now, Clay. This is the time you pick up a phone and you call Dana White and you say, Dana, would you like to partner with me in the deal that I have going on at the BBC? Because what's Dana doing, Clay? Dana's going to give free boxing to the United States. Great. All he's really doing is reintroducing boxing to a group of mainstream America that hasn't seen boxing as a normal television entity in a while. Right? That's fine. Okay. But stop it, guys.
Yeah. He's like, you got to show with the BBC. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I don't give a damn if that thing is the real television. You're going to have to tell her. We ain't letting that slide. It's still America. But BBC holds a little bit different definition over here, bro.
That's funny. But hey, but let me land this. But here's the thing, right? If, let's say, Ben Shalom goes, hey, man, if you want to really compete with Eddie Hearn, I do have contacts in the UK side. I do have contacts over across the Atlantic. Remember, Ben Shalom also signed a deal with Turkey Al Sheikh. He did that too.
Right? And we got to talk about that as well too at some point, because Turkey has everybody under his belt. the only one that's in the area of like wondering which direction they're going in, and I think they pretty much kind of going in the same direction as the PBC probably, right? But not the PBC, because honestly, the PBC kind of we're going to talk about that because David Benavidez had a great interview as well today, speaking on what he's going to do in his relationship with the PBC, but at the same time signing this 3 to 5 fight deal with Riyahd season, it looks like. But it's Golden Boy. I was gonna say Golden Boy seems to be the one on the out right now. Seems like Oscar De La Hoya is on the outside looking in when it comes to Turkey Al Sheikh. Turkey seems to have I don't know. They seem to like kind of bumped heads a little bit down along the road a little bit, and I don't know. They're not on the same page, but everybody else seems to be well positioned to take advantage of where boxing is going as far as Top Rank is concerned, as far as Queensberry is concerned, now Matchroom, even Boxer with Ben Shalom, all these different platforms seem to have their position kind of solidified, and on the outside looking in is Golden Boy, right? I don't know. That's what it looks like, at least. Right. So boxing is moving in a certain direction, and even Mauricio Suleiman had a very interesting interview with Nestor over at the Boxing Voice today, and I thought it was really informative. And it's something when the biggest sanctioning bodies in the space is also embracing what Turkey's bringing to the space, and he had to communicate and let everybody know that Turkey's still participating in the WBC Grand Prix, hosting and paying for it, in deep conversations with Mauricio Suleiman on the future of boxing. So this is all going to be cohesive and working together. And I think people are trying to separate it and make it look like TKO's coming to change boxing. I disagree with that. I think TKO's coming to add to boxing. I think this whole entire situation works streamlined with boxing as we know it, but this real effort to go ahead and come up with a new generation of boxers, a farming system of somewhat to build up new and upcoming prospects and contenders that are going to compete ultimately for the same prizes that they always done. The WBC, the WBO, WBA, IBF, all these sanctioning bodies are going to be as relevant as they've ever been. And that's from my understanding, just kind of watching and seeing what's going on. What are you seeing when it comes to that?
I mean, first off, I'm wondering what you're thinking when it comes to Turkey. Like right now, the way we see Turkey, and it's been 2 years, definitely a boxing nerd, absolutely loves it, using his influence with PIF and Sella, the Saudi investment group, with the king and the prince, in order for them to get to Project 2030, right? But as you know, Clay, there is that saying that absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, man, he's got his hands on a lot of pots now, other than like we were talking about the PBC, maybe Oscar, not so much, right? He seems like he's friendly with everybody, but I don't know. It's a good thing that TKO is involved for sure for USA. If it was just exposure alone, that the mainstream American public who watch NFL and NBA and Major League Baseball, for all of them to realize, hey, man, boxing is worth our time again. Boxing, because that's the one currency, I think, Clay, that the PBC, I'll go ahead and say it for tonight since we'll talk about it. That's the one currency that the PBC did not respect from not only us, the hardcore boxing fans, but the mainstream viewership.
Right.
They thought that by having your Gervonta Davises and Danny Garcias and Errol Spence and Deontay Wilder, that people will continue to pay your $80 to $100 or whatever pay-per-views that they were charging during that period of time that they had control, right?
Okay. Right.
And it was all over regular American news media. Remember, Forbes was writing about it, New York Times, the whole bit, right?
Right.
When you don't respect people's time, man, time's more important than money. And I can speak to that, Clay.
Right.
I can speak to that. Time is way more important than money, because I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, doctor tells you got 30 days. You give a damn what's in your bank account. You can care less, right? What kind of Gucci watch or Rolex Gucci shoe. You don't care about none of that shit, Clay. All right? So as a boxing fan and someone like you who loves it so much that you started your own channel and you became someone who influences people to understand a way of thinking or maybe open their perspective, PBC, man, I'm speaking to you guys. You did not respect our time. And because you didn't respect our time, you didn't respect the mainstream fans, and mainstream fans are the most fickle of them all. They're like, okay, well, I'll go to the next thing that's free. Oh, look at that. The NFL is free. Look at this. This is free. Look at that. That's free. So now that TKO Group is bringing free back, right? Now that it's free again, I think that power move was smart. I think that it was very important for Turkey. And again, not to sound political, Clay, but I think when Turkey tried to do it without Dana and TKO Group, there was a certain pushback. Can I say that there is a pushback, and maybe it's more so than just business, right? There's still a lot of
nationalism.
There's still a lot of nationalism. Thank you. About, do we really want to work with these guys? Do we really? Right? And him bringing in Dana White's like, oh, well, we want to work with Dana White. Right. Of course we want to work with Dana White. Dana White's about to do a fight in the White House. Everything Dana White touches is clean. If it's all white, it's all right. Right?
Well, no, but at the same time, still a bold move, because the boxing space is very leery of Dana White, right? They're still pushing back Dana on a regular basis. So there's a lot of growing pains ahead of us. Watching this process develop and seeing where boxing lands on it. I think the most important thing is that boxing gets bigger, in my opinion, off of this. It grows. One way or another, however anybody wants to process and take a look at it, that's exactly what I see happening, what's written on the wall. But at the end of the day, it's one step at a time. And it looks like proper steps are being made. Just every week or so, you're seeing a step being made, something get knocked down and knocked out the way that just makes it undeniable. And everybody in the space is acknowledging it for what it is. Nobody wants to ruffle anybody's feathers. Everybody's watching what's happening with boxing and understanding that it is taking sort of a turn in a different direction. It is Turkey's influence is undeniable at this point, right? Because he's made all the right moves. He purchased Ring Magazine. He purchased a percentage of the Zone. He went ahead and brought Dana White into the space. He's worked out partnership deals with Matchroom, with Top Rank, with it looks like with the PBC to a certain degree, right? Like, I don't want to make this announcement on here and make it something that it's not supposed to be yet, but it does seem that way when you look at what David Benavidez is doing right now. And him not disconnecting from the PBC, saying, listen, I'm here because of the PBC. Al Heyman, the powers that be, have instructed me and given me permission to be here to be part of the biggest events out there. I think that says a lot, right? That's also the Ludacubuses and Ludacubus Jr. and the Al Heyman of the game, looking at it for what it is and accepting it for what it is, and not trying to, although the space wants to build up this thick line in the sand of like PBC not cooperating with Saudi or with Turkey Al-Sheikh. I don't think that's what it is at all. I do think that they may be negotiating differently, right? The PBC may be negotiating to make sure that they assert and hold a lot of control over their own brand and over their own intellectual data, right? They're trying to make sure that they keep control of it, and they want to present themselves still as the PBC, but at the same time not shying away from the idea that, listen, there's a missing piece to who we are as a company ever since we left Showtime, and we're still trying to secure that. And right now it looks like Saudi and Turkey Al-Sheikh, Saudi money, however you want to look at it, seems to fit the criteria, and they're not going to allow stories or fake nationalism or gaslighting points of topic to get in the way of the growth of not only boxing, right, but their company in particular, right? And let me say this too, because I never want it to seem like I'm always like shitting on the PBC or something. The PBC does do a lot of right things. For example, Lamont Roach today on Inside the Ring with Max Kellerman did an interview, right? Ryan Garcia and everything. There was a lot of great things about that we could talk about, Clay. But Lamont Roach wanted to make sure that he mentioned that even though Tank did him dirty, right, Al Heyman in particular and the PBC did him right. And he didn't want to say what the figure was, but he said
he made him whole again. Like he took care of him for the incompetency of Gervonta Tank Davis and him going out to try to fight Jake Paul. So basically, the only person, and we've talked about this enough, the only person that's really getting the bad rap for all of this nowadays is Gervonta Tank Davis, to which he doesn't care, man. He doesn't care what anyone thinks. So he's making his money. He doesn't care. But Lamont Roach did speak to it. He said, Al Heyman and the PBC took care of me and made it right. So it sounds to me like they paid him X for the fight he was supposed to do in August anyways.
They're making moves, and it's beyond Tank now. They're moving in spite of because I was talking to Ray Davis a little bit earlier today about it, and I said, when Tank gets up on the platform and he speaks on retiring, and he speaks on boxing being full of shit, right? And all that, his complaints of boxing and how boxing is, just a joke. Who's he really taking a shot at? Who's he really upset with when he's speaking that way? Is he talking to me and you, Angelo? Is he talking to Eddie Hearn? Is he talking to Turkey Al-Sheikh? Who the hell cares about those statements? Do you think those guys care? No. You know who I think cares? The PBC. And I think those statements are statements against, or even if they're not purposely done to be against the PBC, I think that they're against the better interests of the PBC. To see Gervonta Tank Davis talk about retiring in the midst of a 6-fight+ fight deal with Amazon, you can bet everything you have in your bank account that the PBC leveraged Gervonta Tank Davis and Canelo Alvarez as points of negotiation tools when they were speaking with Amazon, right? So Gervonta fighting certain fights had to be part of the deal. Canelo Alvarez hanging back and fighting certain fights had to be part of the deal. So if you see Gervonta jumping ship to a certain degree, not making the fights happen, and then puts a cherry on top of the sundae to end up on a Netflix card as a B-side to a Jake Paul fight, how does that benefit the PBC? I know people would like to make it all about money, right? And say, well, Gervonta is going to make a whole bunch of money, so the PBC is going to make a bunch of money. The PBC knows how to make money. If they wanted to make money in any kind of way, they could have been just took the knee like a lot of other people did to Turkey, right? Early and made money. They could have they know that's not what it is. That doesn't work towards the interests of the PBC. So now the PBC is having to be successful, having to grow, having to be make their big comeback in spite of Tank Davis ultimately threatening to leave the space. So what do? They take their next big star, David Benavidez, right?
Right.
And they send him over and they said, listen, David, this is what we're going to do. Tank didn't want to do this. You know what I mean? In order to make the big fights, he didn't want to make this move. He didn't want to work with us and work with Turkey and make a fight with Shakur and make these other big fights. He wanted it to be a certain way, and we don't got time to argue with him no more. Now he's gone rogue. He's talking about retiring. Now he's went and negotiated this Jake Paul fight. You know what I'm saying? And he's doing all this nonsense. It turns out he was negotiating the Jake Paul fight well before we even put the Lamont Roach fight together. The first one, not to mention the rematch, he was already negotiating with Jake Paul. So now Tank is kind of doing his own thing and kind of bowing out of the game. David Benavidez looks like he's going to take his rightful spot as king of the PBC, right? The face of the PBC right now. And he's representing the PBC in the biggest platform that you can in the world. And Turkey seems to be all aboard with it. It's like, let's get it done. 5-fight deal. I'm hearing rumors of north of 150, 200 million for David Benavidez at 5 fights. His interview he had today was profound in the things he was speaking and the way he was speaking about not negotiating. He's no more negotiating with my team or what my next fights are. I know what my next fights are going to be. You know what I mean? He even turned down certain money. Well, what if Turkey offers you 120 million to fight Terrence Crawford at 168? He's like, I'm not interested. It's not about money for me. He's like, I'm going to get money. I want to get this money. It's about being great. You know what I'm saying? It's about legacy. And that serves no purpose. Terrence Crawford's already locked it in at 168, already beat Canelo Alvarez. He's like, to be honest with you, even if they offered me a bunch of money to go down and fight Canelo, I wouldn't fight Canelo. Canelo has to come and fight me at 175. He said that's where it had to happen at. He's moving forward. And it was music to a boxing fan's ears. So my ears walk that way. I was getting goosebumps. I was like, what I'm talking about.
I want you to keep going because let me add this. You heard about Jai Alpataya's interview, and Jai said Turkey got a plan for him. And the plan, bro, is for him to do this. And then David Benavidez is going to eventually move up. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that Turkey wanted to invest in David Benavidez. This is a guy that he started investing in at 68, then moved him to 75 to eventually be the cruiserweight or get a shot at a cruiserweight title. Bro, this is big moves, man. I love it. I love it.
A lot of big moves happening, and you need to have some vision. You need to be able to back away from the table for a little bit and see the landscape for what's really written on the wall. And what's written on the wall is people like David Benavidez, fighters like that, are seeing it for what it is. And I was so excited to see him do this interview and speak the way he did, because he made me nervous when he left Saudi the first time. When he went to Saudi during Dimitri Bivol, I was like, what is he doing? What are you talking about? I'm like, well, let's see what the PBC does. Let's see if the PBC is able to. And if you watch the interview, he's going a separate way from Samson Leibowitz, right? He said it. He said, Samson's got me as far as he can get me. I appreciate him, but he knows that we're growing and I'm looking to be my own boss. So he's like, so we're going to finish this contract out. We're going to finish these last couple of fights out, and then we're going to move on. And we're going to do other things. I mean, and we're gonna break down and watch this interview. By the way, way, I'm going to do it. We're going to do it was a very powerful interview. He spoke so boldly. I was getting goosebumps. I was so excited. Brother, I've been talking for the past 2 years about this, right? About this evolution of boxing. I've been talking about this, and I called for David Benavidez to do exactly what he's doing right now, but I was calling for him to do it at the end of his fight with David Morrell when he flew off to Saudi Arabia. I thought that's when he was going to do it. So when he didn't do it, then it kind of hurt my heart, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My tape didn't age that well at that moment. I'm like, really? Damn, David, so you're not going to do it? You're going to sit here and play the cherry pick game? You're not going to go and try to fight Dimitri, try to fight Artur Beterbiev? You're not going to try to make big fights in the cruiserweight? You ain't going to try to get job? I thought you said you was here for the legacy. I thought you said you how are you going to do it? How is the PBC going to facilitate this for you? And but David was just buying his time and just giving an opportunity for the people who said they could do something for him to do it. He was being loyal, right? He said, okay, Sam, you said you got it? All right, bro. Even though I'm over here right now, and I'm being offered King's ransom to fight Caleb Smith. And pretty much being guaranteed the winner of Dimitri Bivol Artur Beterbiev 3. I'm going to leave Saudi right now, get on the next thing smoking out of Saudi right now. I'm going to look crazy in front of Turkey. Everybody's going to be like, what are you doing? But hey, if you say you can facilitate it, so you said Mauricio Suleiman's talking about stripping him? Oh, they're gonna force the fight anyway. So look, I don't mind helping the PBC, right? Like I love the PBC. I love Al. If I can help the PBC at the same exact time as pursue my own personal goals, I will do that. But let's not get it twisted. We're on a time clock, because what happened to me at 168 will not happen to me again at 175. We will not play that game, right? The biggest fights being held from me, my money being held, waiting on. We're not doing that no more. I've done that long enough. I'm taking my own career in my own hand. So that move I did with David Morrell, as far as getting out of that Jesse Hart fight and making it a David Morrell fight, that was the beginning of the new David Benavidez. That was the beginning of the mentality of a real boss move, future icon in boxing move made by David Benavidez to take his career, like all the greats have done, at some point or another, say, listen, no to that bullshit. Yes to my legacy. You know what I'm saying? No to all that. I know all the promoters want to move the pieces around, and you guys want to play chess and get as much money as we can and build up the brand. That's adorable, bro. As long as that's aligned with my own goals that I have on this list that I need to get these boxes checked out under. And now he's making those moves. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to watch it. We're going to watch the interview. And matter of fact, why even play about it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I, at some point before we end, I did send you the Jerry Maguire parody with Ben Whitaker, and I would like for you to show that at some point, because I think it's worthwhile. What
do you mean? Wait.
So I don't know if you saw it yet, Clay, but I sent it to your Instagram. And Jerry Maguire is one of the top 100 movies you guys will ever watch. It's one of my favorite movies. It's also the movie that got the Oscar win for Cuba Gooding Jr. playing the part of Rod Tidwell. And there's that famous scene, Clay, show me the money. The famous scene that, Eddie Hearn and Ben Whitaker, when they did the announcement, that's the way they did it, is they diabolically dropped it And that's what made everybody go, oh my God, Ben Whitaker just signed with Eddie Hearn. So you have to imagine how diabolical that is. He had already signed him, filmed all of this shit before they even told Ben Shalom what was going to happen or whatever, right? So he literally like pulled the wool, he fooled everybody, and it was awesome. So I just think it's funny. If you guys are as old as me and Clay, you would remember the movie Jerry Maguire, and I think the way they did the play on this, like really, like, good job, chef's kiss. Good job, Eddie. Good job, Matchroom.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I got it right here.
It's so funny, bro.
Hold on a second here. Stop screen, open. Boom. Let's take a look at it.
Play from the beginning with sound.
I don't think no one's looking out for Ben.
Just Ben, just tell me, what can I do for you?
Let me tell you, this is what you're going to do. It's very personal, and it's a very important thing.
What?
Show me the money. Hey, you hear that, Eddie?
Yeah, I'll show you the money.
Not show you, show me.
I'll show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Say it with me, Eddie.
Show me the money.
Come on, Eddie. You can do better than that.
Show me the money.
Yo, I got Frank Warren on the other phone. Let me hear you say it.
Show me the money.
Yeah, louder.
Show me the money.
You gotta yell that shit, Eddie.
Show me the money.
I need to feel you, Eddie.
Show me the money.
You better yell.
Show me the money.
I love Ben Whitaker. Do you love this black man?
I love Ben Whitaker.
I love black people.
I love black people.
Who's your motherfucker, Eddie?
You're my motherfucker.
What are you gonna do, Eddie?
Show me the money.
Congratulations, you're now my promoter.
That.
Oh my God, bro! But listen, man. Oh my God, bro. Listen, man. That's what it's all about,
I love
right?
black people.
He said, I love Ben Whitaker. Listen, man, and I love how clear Eddie Hearn is making it, right? I don't gotta play no games. You don't gotta love me. You don't gotta, you know what I mean? All this loyalty. I know what moves the needle, and I'm pushing those buttons. I'm going to get my fighters paid. I'm going to get these big fights made, and this move he's made with Rocnation and with Turkey Al-Sheikh, with Saudi Arabia or Riyadh season, whatever you want to call it, at this point, shows that he's been working in the background. He's been working in the background, taking his time. And it puts into perspective the way he's been moving with Duran Ennis, the way he's been moving with Raymond Ford, the way he was moving with Jalil Hackett. People were throwing so many shots at Eddie Hearn for not, what he's doing.
Hitchens, bro.
Right.
Hitchens.
Richardson Hitchens. I mean, just at the end of the day, he's been working in the background to put these pieces together. And I'm telling you guys, I think 2026 is about to be a big year for Matchroom fighters, bro.
For the U.S. Matchroom fighters like Diego Pacheco, Bam Rodriguez. I'm telling you, man, Shakur's coming home.
Diego just went
coming home
from Benavidez, right? From Jose Benavidez Sr. He just today fired Jose Benavidez Sr. You know what I'm saying? He's moving something right now. And I think it's really interesting. And that was a great video right there. That was hilarious. I did not see that. I didn't watch that video, bro. That was hilarious.
You didn't see it? Yeah, no. And you guys have
seen it.
Oh my gosh, bro. And what's crazy again, Clay, is that's how everyone found out that he signed. So they kept it such a good secret, bro. There were no leaks. And then they dropped that video. And then that's when Ring Magazine announced it. And the whole bit. So hey, man, shout out to you, Eddie Hearn. Shout out to Matchroom. If Clay makes it down to Philly this weekend, man, hook my guy up, please. Hook my guy up.
Yeah. Listen, man. Boxing is in an exciting space, and this move that Eddie's made, people aren't going to cover it over here on the on this side of the pond as much as I think they should, because of the nationalism, right? The whole idea of, so what? You know what I mean? But I'm telling you guys, if you're reading the writing on the wall, everybody's getting into place. Everybody has bought into this golden era of boxing. Everybody understands what's happening right now, and everybody's getting in position to put their brand right in line where it needs to be to take advantage of the momentum of this and to take advantage of this new era of boxing. Period. There's no story. There's no story outside of that. This is the biggest story right now. What you're seeing Eddie Hearn doing right now, this is a huge needle mover, bro. Huge needle mover. You know what
He's
I mean?
showing us the money. Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money. Yeah, Bubs, man. Yeah, salute to Bubs, man. You know, I got love for you, bro, but I'm sorry, man. You're just gonna have to sit back and watch it happen, bro. I don't know how else to tell you, man. There's no trap fight for Terrence Crawford. There's no trap fight for Shakur. There's none of that. This doesn't exist. Shakur's negotiating right now. His team is negotiating with Teofimo Lopez's team to put an event in early 2026. Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing. He's done enough. He could not do one more fight right now. There's nothing that can stop his legacy is cemented. Whatever he wants to do, he's gonna do.
And with Terrence Crawford, again, if you guys haven't been paying attention, and Clay has mentioned this on the show, so Janabek Alamhullah is supposed to be fighting Erislandy Lara. They were trying to do an Artemis move. Why do you think that is? Lara's a PBC guy, but all of a sudden, he's going to get a chance to fight this top-ranked guy who probably is already working with Turkey, right? And then all of a sudden, what did you hear Turkey say when he was with Terrence Crawford? Oh, we will give big announcement to the people of Nebraska, right? You already know what's coming, Clay. 92,000 people, Cornhusker Stadium, Artemis versus Crawford, and bro, I might get on a flight to be at Cornhusker Stadium. I mean, I ain't ever been to Nebraska, but y'all are about to see what a Filipino looks like.
It's just so much going on, man. It's so much speculation that we can do, and we will do, because we can read the writing on the wall. Nothing's guaranteed, but boxing is getting exciting. Boxing is moving in a way to where there's so much going on. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. What are you saying, Bubs? Bubs, what you saying, Bubs? He says we have to apply pressure. Come on, Clay. How did Crawford get the Canelo fight? That's how we can get the Benavidez Crawford fight. Why do you give up so easy when it's a fight your guy can lose? Listen, Terrence could have lost against Canelo Alvarez. You know why?
Yes.
I'm speaking the way I'm speaking because David Benavidez isn't interested.
Yes.
Crawford is not interested. Turkey Alvarez not interested. There's other things that they're interested in. Terrence Crawford looks to make, if he doesn't retire, if he doesn't rematch Canelo Alvarez, there's nothing in it for him to fight David Benavidez. And David Benavidez understands it as well, too. He spoke on it today, and we're going to watch it. We're going to break this interview now. We're going to take our time and go through the interview. But he spoke so much truth. David Benavidez, dare I say this, because I don't think he can. I'm already a fan of David Benavidez. I am a legitimate supporter of, how sensitive I'm with that fan words, because but I'm a legitimate supporter of David Benavidez. But this interview right here just compounded it. It just made it. He is making the moves, in my opinion, that is going to make him the face of American boxing. He's moving the way we want, that Jaron Ennis fans want Jaron Ennis to move the way David Benavidez is moving right now. Speak the way David Benavidez is speaking right now. Act as the way that David Benavidez is acting right now. This is what they want from Jaron Boots Ennis, and I bring him up because this is Eddie Hearn right now making the moves he did. Jaron Ennis has an opportunity to shake the space up. Right. He has an opportunity, and I'm not saying he's not going to shake the space up, because I think with this move that Eddie Hearn did, very likely 2026 will be a big year for Jaron Ennis as well. He's going
to. Jaron Ennis is fighting this week, guys, on Free the Zone against according to BoxRec, the number 10 best 154-pound fighter, right? When Jaron Ennis does what he's supposed to do, and by the way, Clay, like Jaron Ennis is doing a ton of stuff.
Look at Bubs. I'm breaking it one chink at a time, boy. One chink at a time. That was a little bit of a chink from Bubs shield knockers. Just a little piece. Bubs is still lit. You know what I mean? He's still out here. I got to get a posting of here. You know the African guy is. I want all the problems. I want all the problems. That's Bubs. That's what Bubs is like. I want all the problems. Give me all the problems. So one chink at a time. Look what he said. He said, okay. I won't give up, but I won't cry about it over and over. LOL. You got it. Let's watch the interview, my friend. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Talk about it. Shout out to my guy, Just Do Boxing, man. Salute, family. Hey, Just, man, I'm with you, brother. The good fight, man. The good fight. Just, man. If you go back and you dial the clock back, my guy, if you dial the clock back to when me and you first really met each other, we met each other in a situation where I was under fire, right? Let's be honest. Like, I was under fire by a certain mutual person that we know. I'm not, cool with that person, but you may be, or I don't know, whatever. But I was standing on this spot by myself, fighting the good fight of the future of boxing. It was over Turkey Al-Sheikh. It was over the future of boxing. It was Devin Haney trying to make the big fight with Tank Davis at the time. Bill Haney went out and Eddie Hearn went out and they shopped with Turkey Al-Sheikh and they got an offer and they were trying to get Tank on the phone. They were trying to make it happen, right? They thought the only reason the fight wasn't happening was because Tank wasn't getting the money he wanted, right? So they're like, we're going to go get the money, right? You're talking about we don't bring money to the table. We don't put asses in seats. We don't sell pay-per-views. You're talking about your bottom line. But when they saw the resistance and the pushback they got, when they got that, it kind of put a whole different perspective on it, right? But I just said at the end of the day, I accepted very early. I said, look, I'm okay with Tank not wanting to fight these guys. It was never an issue with Tank Davis. If Tank Davis felt like he didn't want to fight Shakur, he didn't want to fight Devin, he didn't want to fight Teofimo, he had his own plans, I accepted it. But what I always had an issue with and what I always pushed back on was the idea that you guys were going to set your crosshairs on these fighters who clearly have been trying to make the fights, right? The Shakur Stevensons, the Devin Haney's, now the Lamont Roaches, right? These guys who called out Tank and wanted to make the fight happen, and the fight couldn't be made to happen because Tank as the A side wasn't cooperating. So I got destroyed. I didn't get destroyed, first of all. Let's be clear, right? Clearly, I didn't get destroyed. You know what I mean? We stand strong. We stand alone if we got to. But at the end of the day, as time goes by, it was Devin at first, but it bled into Shakur Stevenson. And we saw how the space turned on Shakur Stevenson and said that, he went to the wrong side of the street and they threw shots at him and they tried to tear down his credibility, right? And then Lamont Roach, who earned himself a rematch by fighting that fight to a draw, where a lot of people thought he won that fight. Here come the excuses. Lamont Roach is nobody. But it's gotten to the point now to where that toxic space has pushed people who really love boxing in a group with each other. They've done it. They've attacked us enough to where we've had to like come together as boxing fans and be like, nah, bro, we're not letting this whole game go off the back of one dude, bro. Tank wants to move the way he wants to move. God bless Tank, right? God bless Tank. Allow him to move the way he wants to move. But we are not going to throw the whole entire baby out with the bathwater. We're going to let him go do what he wants to go do with Jake Paul. We're going to let him do that. We're going to watch it too, whatever. But we're not going to see him tear down a whole entire sport. We're not going to tear down Devin Haney, tear down Shakur Stevenson, tear down Lamont Roach, tear down Teofimo Lopez, tear down boxing and make it seem like boxing is going to be over with when this guy walks away from the sport. Bullshit. We're not riding that. And now what's happening? They're upset. You got a lot of maniacs out here right now really upset, attacking everything moving, upset at everybody except for the person they really should be upset at. Because if you ask me, and I think Tank knows it, right? The guys who've been asking Tank to make these big fights, we're not mad at Tank. Pay attention to what's going on.
We're not.
We're not. You know who's mad at Tank? His fans.
Yeah,
his fans are mad. But you know how you know what they're doing? They're projecting. They're not angry directly with Tank, right? They're projecting and they're trying to take it out on us. We walking by and they're like, the real haters in the building. They're trying to put it all on us. Like, we the ones who making Tank retire or fight Jake Paul or not fight the fight you want to fight. It turns out at the end of the day that those guys wanted the same exact things we wanted. They just were scared to push back at Tank. And now Tank is let it be known that he's moving in a different direction. So instead of pushing back at Tank right now, pushing back at the PBC and saying, what the hell's going on? They throwing shots at us, right? They throwing shots at us. And how do they throw shots at us? They attack the fights that we celebrate. They attack what we celebrate, which is boxing moving up. So every time now we're talking like this about how exciting we are about boxing and what's going on, what Turkey's doing, and how Eddie, they take that as a personal slight against him. And they go, look at them celebrating sellouts.
Right.
They're selling out. Look at them.
Right.
I saw that guy the other day. What's his name? I told you about him, but he said boxing is more dead than it's ever been. There's nothing going on in boxing. That's
crazy.
You feel what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to flip it and push it in a certain direction. So I saw my guy Just Do today doing his show, and Just was having at it, right? Just was having a little rant, and this is very not like him. He's one of the most, like, if you ever watch Just Do, he's a very
calm, very calm,
mellow dude, like just always, can-do attitude, just willing, hey man, I can see it your way, you have your opinion, I can respect it, always trying to respect it. But they attacked that man today, and they started spreading rumors saying that he's buying views now. And why? They're attacking him. Why? Because he's been standing up for Shakur, he's been standing up for boxing, he's been standing on boxing. When his back got pushed against the wall, he stood on boxing, bro. And now
hey man, salute.
Now he's seen it though, right? Justice like, damn, you guys turn on me. How y'all gonna turn on me? I'm the one who's been doing this a certain way from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Right, Just talk to him, bro. I'm the one who's been sitting here trying to be, and you gonna turn on me? Hey, Just, if you want to believe me when I tell you this, Just. You could talk to Ray Davis. I told Ray Davis the day after, Just, you got to go back and jog your memory, bro. The day, I remember like it was yesterday. We got up in there and I had that thick ass debate with the homie, right? And I asked you, I said, Just, where you from? And Just was like, what? I said, where you from, fam? He said, he's up from Jersey. I'm like, that's what's up, bro. I said, you remind me. Do you remember, Just? Go back and play it and see if I'm fronting. Go back and play it. I said, you remind me of somebody I know. That's all. And you're like, oh, all right. I think Just at that time when I said that, Just probably thought I was like kind of stepping to him a little bit, because he was standing in the middle between me and this other dude and didn't want to pick a side, but I wasn't. I knew that was this day was going to come. I knew that eventually your back was going to get pushed against the wall and you were going to have to pick boxing or popularity.
Right.
You were going to have to pick. And I knew which direction you were going to go into, and I knew what was going to end up happening. And I told Ray's my witness. The next time you see Ray Davis, ask him. He's going to tell you. I told him. I said, Justice is going to be, I said, it's okay. We're going to be right here for him, bro. But they're going to try. They're going to try to throw him overboard. They're going to try to throw him overboard because they're going to force his hand. They're going to force his hand. They're going to force his hand. I knew they were going to force your hand, bro, because they were going to make you pick lies over the truth.
Right.
Because it's one thing to speak. It's one thing to speak in the middle and allow certain, when the facts are just blatantly in your face, it's hard to ride the middle. After a while, you have to pick a side. Where you're going to be. And you see some of your favorite content creators chose lies, bro.
Right.
Some of the content creators that I had some respect for, right? That I had some respect for, when it came down to it, they chose the lies. They freely chose the lies. And you guys know who you are. You chose the lies. Rather than stand on truth, you chose the lies. And that's where the line got drawn in the sand. And the line's been drawn in the sand. And I'm excited that the line's been drawn in the sand. I'm happy it happened this way. I tell people every time I do this show, shout out to Lamont Roach. I really think it's unfortunate that you got caught up in this nonsense, but I wouldn't trade a rematch with you and Tank Davis for what's going on right now for nothing.
Oh, yeah, man. He's fighting Pitbull.
You're going to go fight Pitbull. I'm so happy that fight went down the drain.
He's talking about fighting Ryan Garcia next. Right.
I'm so happy that happened because it drew a line in the sand, because people had to speak. People had to speak. They had to pick a side. The hands was forced. And my guy, Just, I'm saying, they forced your hand, bro. They forced your hand, fam. They forced your hand. They said, what are you talking about, bro? You down or what, bro? I thought you was down. Just like, down or what? Hold up. What's going on here, bro? Are you down or what, bro? We not going out like this, bro. You over there talking about Shakur Stevenson making a fight with Williams and Pater, bro. You over there talking about Tank Davis retiring is okay to that. Yeah, bro. Welcome to boxing, baby. Boxing's in a good space, bro. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit the like buttons. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel, man. But we back at it, man. Boxing, he said, it's your time. You know what fight comes next, possibly. And yeah, they force him.
Hey, you know what?
He made me do this, but
look, just
yeah, bro.
just boxing is in such a great space, and I've said this on the show several times that this reminds me, and it's even better in my opinion, of the 70s era of boxing because everybody is fighting everybody. You're starting to see it back on free access to the people, right? But it's in such a great space that they elevated Boots Enos's fight this Saturday to a WBA interim title, right? So what does that mean, Clay? That means basically either Abbas Baru is going to have to fight Boots next.
About it. He's either going to fight Xander. He's either going to unify with Xander, right? Or he's going to have to fight Boots next.
Man, Xander Zayas versus Boots Enos in the United States of America.
And that's what's going to
Madison Square Garden, bro.
That's what it's going to end up being.
Oh my gosh. You want to talk about damn, bro. Like, seriously, you bring the power of Bad Bunny with the power of Rocnation all together at Madison Square Garden for an event, dude. An event? Oh my God, Clay, you got me excited over Xander Zayas versus Jerome Boots Enos. Forget the Virgil Ortiz fight. Forget it. We don't need that. We want to see Xander Zayas versus Boots Enos, man. That's awesome. That is amazing.
Yo, Just, I don't know if you want to hit the link. If you feel like building, there's a link. You know what I'm saying? Because you had a very you had one of those days today, bro. I didn't watch the whole thing because I had stuff I was doing. Literally, while I was talking to you, I was handling a bunch of stuff, so I couldn't. I really didn't tap in for everything you were talking about. When I saw it, I was laughing my ass off because I saw my guy in his bag. My guy was low key. He was kind of hot, bro. He was kind of hot. He was hot. He was upset. He was upset. And
sometimes you got to get hot.
Right? It was like you got exactly, Ray, what you just said. I said, finally, get hot, bro. You're going to have to get hot, bro, because the play is in. The play is in, bro. You've made your decision. You've drawn the line in the sand where you stand on it, and the real haters are coming out, bro. They're coming out the bushes. They jumping out and they showing their faces in a very ugly way. They're trying to sabotage this man right now. They're trying to discredit him. They're trying to dismiss who he is, and they're trying to turn this into something. They're trying to turn this into something that it's not. And it's almost like political. This is almost like watching, like, I know people don't get into politics too much. It is. I don't want to bring politics up in it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I understand. Trying to rig the election.
It's very. It's like a combination of both the NFL fan base, right? Whether you're a Jets fan or Raiders fan, and a political fan base, where it gets personal, and it's like, oh, it's not personal.
And I'm watching it, and it's like from the outside watching it. And shout out to my guy, Just Do the bill, and salute to my guy, Just Do, man. My capital is Just Do, man. Just out here fighting a good fight, man. I've been watching you go through this piece by piece before you went through it, bro. I swear, if Ray was here, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, right? I couldn't have, if I would have said something 6 months ago, 8 months ago, it would have been on deaf ears. It would have looked like I was hating. So I had to just watch it, and I've been smiling.
You know what, though? Not with me, because I listen to logic and sound reason. And that's one reason why I could rock with you. Can't nobody tell me who to rock with. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I hear that somebody rock with the sport, it's not about agreeing and disagreeing with me. It's a person that I know you study, you watch this shit. You got a sound, logical opinion. I could listen to your show with no problem. So,
and look, and
you know, like I said,
I'm sure I've said things without a doubt that you disagree with. Like, nah, I don't really rock with that. But
I don't look at it that way. I'm trying to tell you, Clay. I just hear you out because it's not coming from a place of ignorance. If it's coming from that, then maybe I'm forced to look at it like I disagree. But I'm just so open to the conversation. I'm trying to get people to understand how to talk to other people about boxing. It's not about being right or wrong all the time, bro. If you debating, cool, right? You got to be right or wrong. But
it's
for me, it's a build. Like when I heard you saying that, let's build, I'm like, bro, this man talking my language.
Do you remember?
Yes, do you remember? Bro. Talk my language. I've been saying that since I've been on here. I always hashtag that in my titles.
when I asked you where you were from, do you remember?
Yeah,
And I said that, and it was in the middle of it, and I know some people, I don't know how you looked at it that day, right? I remember just standing on that and leaving it there because it was such a hostile moment between me and
I didn't think nothing of it though.
So when I asked you and you were like Jersey, I'm like, I'm like, oh, no reason. I was like, you just remind me somebody I know. I'm from New York, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you remind me somebody I know. And in my mind, I said, in due time, bro. I was like, we're gonna find out because you guys are gonna back this guy right here is on some different time, and you're gonna back him against the wall. You're gonna do it because you guys are so focused on pushing your narrative. Once it hits that wall, he's gonna sit back and he's gonna say what he's saying right now.
I can't push narratives. We gotta push boxing first, bro. I just try to call it as clearly as it is with no narrative. I'm not trying to sway nobody's opinion. I put the information out and let people process it how they will. I'm not even trying to form your opinion when I put this shit out. I'm just telling you what I think, and we go from there, man. It's a build. It's an ongoing conversation every single day.
Yeah,
you know, and I don't gotta be right.
Let me tell you when it got bad for you, bro, or when it got bad for them, however you want to look at it.
Right.
It got bad when you started when Shakur got attacked, right? And it got crazy, right? Because at that point in time, you were kind of like, at that point in time, you were trying to be like neutral, but at the same time, you were like, you're not gonna do this to this dude, bro. What are y'all talking about?
I know too much, and I that's the first time I learned when somebody said, I hate the fact that I know what I know. And that's what the difference is between me and the average person talking about it. I ain't saying I know everything, but I know more than these guys. So
this particular situation, you had hands on, you had knowledge because of what you knew. It was like and it was why I know it had to be complicated because you're watching this story get pushed out. Let's keep it real. You're watching a narrative get pushed out there, and you're sitting there like, yo, dead ass.
Hell yeah, I'm like, y'all really gonna do this? And it's like, the more you go the bat for the truth, the more it make it look like you siding with the guy. Nah, it's not that. It just so happens the truth happens to favor him if you just want to be honest. I'm telling you, like I put money on this shit. I know what I know.
Because your guy don't want to fight, bro.
Period. Yeah, I'm like, bro.
It's not about him being scared or whatever. You guys can go put whatever twist you want on it. I'm not saying he's scared, but I'm letting you know this fight is not happening because your guy don't want the fight to happen.
Yeah. And it's hard for them to accept it, even when you hear him say he turning his back. I'm like, y'all don't get it. He letting you know who's in control of that shit starting to begin with. Is nothing that other guy can do but be ready. If he be like, yeah. And when I got the chance to speak directly to that man's team, I got the game directly. I was like, wow. And what I appreciated about the conversation is you can tell the information was valid because they wasn't even trying to hold them in a negative light. He was just confused as to why they was talking about. He was saying this contract stuff. This man don't even curse. He like, where they getting this stuff from, bro? Like, where they getting this from? And this is how he got into what actually happened. He like, bro, and it got left right there. And I'm like, and then when you hear it with Espinoza say preliminary conversations, it's very consistent. Just use logical sense.
I broke that down from the beginning. I said,
I'm like, bro,
word games with y'all, bro. Listen to what he said, bro. And that's why Shakur reacted the way he did. When Shakur came out, like, he's like, he came out on Twitter like, what the hell are you talking about, bro? You ain't do this. This is before he got a chance to grill him. This was just on Twitter. Like an hour or two after that interview came out there, he's like, oh, this dude is lying. Yo, who did you send an offer to, bro? This did not happen, bro. And everybody's like, see, there it is. He got the offer. He rejected offer. I was like,
they never got that far. And that's what, this side was trying to tell me. He wasn't trying to hold them in a negative light. He just was like, yo, we available and ready if they're willing to fight. Like, yes, we with it. Man, I don't be want to say too much, but from what I understand, that man, now it might have changed since they had their back and forth, but up until that point, man, that was a fight that man dreamed about, bro. Like, people don't get it. He spent his life trying to prove that he's one of the absolute best. You think now with the lights and the attention, the money, the respect on the line, he gonna stop trying to be great? You got to use logical sense. Y'all really think he's scared to challenge himself? You a damn fool. Look at the way he just fought his last fight. He put every single narrative that you could have had negative out there about him to bed in one fight, and y'all still don't get it.
Oh, they try to turn it. And that's, let me tell you another thing. The Shakur Stevenson Williams Zepeda fight. You know what else it did? That was significant outside of showing Shakur. It showed that a lot of these guys don't know how to watch boxing, bro. And I'm being real with you to say, to the point where that's why they're not entertained unless somebody gets knocked out, because they can't find entertainment in the sweet science. They did not see the value in the genius of Shakur Stevenson in that fight with Williams Zepeda. The way he moved, the way he counterpunched, the way he stayed in the pocket, the way he was catching. They didn't catch none of that, because he never got close to knocking Williams Zepeda out. Therefore, the fight was trash.
You heard what Zepeda said after that fight, man. He said he was a little surprised. He said he got good power. He said, man, if he ain't have hand issues, he probably hit even harder. He ain't come up out of there. He pillow fisted. He can't punch. But Zepeda was like, man, I was standing in front of him too long. Like, you would think that would be the ideal position for a guy that want to unload, but he had him rethinking his own strategy. The shit that he did 33 other times that worked, and 27 by a knockout, that shit didn't work that night. If y'all can't see how talented that man is to beat him in the fashion that he beat him, how could you not be impressed with that? You got to be a hater. I'm not giving, is no in between. You ain't got to praise it, but that shit is impressive, bro. He beat that man at his own game. It landed 27%
with bad hands, bro. With bad hands. I mean, people aren't gonna. Go ahead.
And furthermore,
I'd say for the people who are just listening to it right now, just to give you guys context of what we're talking about, or what Clay and Just is talking about, is it's a Tank thing and a Shakur thing, and most of all, and I'll answer it this way. So, Roger, that you want to ask me what happened to them Raiders? I'm gonna tell you what happened to my Raiders. It's simple. You see, I'm a realist, right? I'm not one of these people that try to pretend like the Raiders are going to be some Super Bowl team. So I've been on record since before the season even started. When the minute they hired Pete Carroll, bro, I said our asses are going to lose a lot. We're probably only going to win maybe 5 to 6 games, right? And I say that to say that this is a boxing show, and what Just does and what Clay does is they just talk about the sport of boxing as truth. They don't try to swing you, oh, you got to love this fighter, or, oh, you got to love that fighter. We'll tell you the fighters we respect, but we're not going to, we're not going to try to talk you to propaganda. We're not going to propaganda you. We're just going to tell you, hey, man, this is what's happening. Shakur is one of the best that we're going to get to see in this generation. I've often been killed for saying that I believe his trajectory will be Pernell Whitaker. Right? And people go, oh, how you going to carry Stevenson to Pernell Whitaker? And I'm like, I didn't say today, but if he keeps doing what he's fucking doing, I can see him maybe surpass Pernell Whitaker, if I'm being honest.
But
he just need the opportunities.
I think the layer of this that for me, the profile, the thing that I always point at is just to show that there's a politics behind the space that runs so deep that it gets in the way of boxing growing. And I'm saying that off the strength of watching what Just Du's going through right now, because I'm telling you, these people, 9 out of 10 of these people rocked with Just Du the long way. You would have never expected what's happening right now to be happening to Just, because he always carried it what people would say is the right way. He's always carried it the right way. Like, I may ruffle some feathers from time to time. I'll go in there and say something blatant. You know what I mean? I'll say something to stir the pot. That was my saying. Is I was going to stir the pot. Like, I do that from time to time. I will gaslight some emotions. Right? Just didn't do that. Right? Just won't do that. Right? Just carry
every now and again. I'll stare it a little bit. I have some fun, poke at some fans, but it'll be in good fun though. It'll be in good fun.
Right. But for the most part, people respected that about you in the space. They respect the fact that he was always going, but it didn't matter, because when it came down to it, when he chose boxing, when he didn't chose boxing, he didn't just choose boxing, but when the narratives didn't align with their narratives, look at how they turned. Look at what's going on right now. They turned like crazy. And it's like,
I was like, wow.
It's nasty the way they're doing it.
Yeah. I was like, and it's crazy because I still push boxing. I'm just not gonna push your narratives, bro. I'm still gonna
Right.
hold your favorite fighter in his highest regard. He's still gonna get his just due, but I'm
Right.
not gonna allow y'all to get me to push lies, shit that I know is not factual. Like, man, I just can't wait till the day come where it could be put to the test. Like I'm gonna always choose boxing, bro. No fighter in boxing will I get up on the platform and lie for. I don't care how much I like them. I will never be that kind of fan. That's why I don't even call myself a fan. I call myself a supporter. That
I won't.
means you could just call boxing down the middle without having to try to sway anybody's opinion. Let's build on this shit. Tell me what you think. It ain't got to be an argument, man. We ain't got to argue each other's opinions all day. I don't need the stress. I just want to talk this shit, enjoy it, and highlight what's great about it. All this, and no disrespect to Stephen A. Smith, man. He great in his own right? He did his thing. But I call these dudes these fake Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless types, where they just everything got to be an argument.
Right?
Bro, get this shit out of here, bro. Won't you? I can't learn nothing with y'all arguing all day, bro. I want to learn some shit. I want to hear a real sound conversation about boxing, not this petty, like, oh man, talking about people, baby mamas and girls and money. Like, we doing too much. Like, it just be like, let's call the sport how it is, man. The guys that get the most shit thrown on their names are some of the best fighters in the world. What I just seen them do to Terrence Crawford is like, man, people should really be ashamed of themselves today. And they still doing it, bro. They still doing it. They blaming him for getting pulled over. Yo, I've seen it all. I'm done with these people. I will never tap in again. I'm good, yo. I can't do that. Nah, bro. We should be celebrating that, man.
Come on, even his enemies, so-called, and we're gonna watch.
Yeah,
I'm bringing up
his
David
ops.
Benavidez had to be like today. David Benavidez was like, "Listen, bro, bro." He was like, "I'm not gonna go fight that man 168 for what?" He was like, that man is the GOAT, bro. He's the greatest of all time, bro. He's like, he's one of them, because he called Floyd Mayweather greatest of all time as well. He said, nah, bro, that dude really handled Canelo Alvarez, bro, went up multiple weight classes. He said Floyd Mayweather would not have done that. He's like, I'm not gonna see him play this game with y'all. And what he's basically saying is, you're not gonna use me to try to discredit this guy. You guys just want to see this guy lose so bad. Now you want me to come back down to 168 and
I love it.
I'm not doing all that, bro. You guys gotta chill. Just give this man his flowers, bro. He did what he did. I'm gonna go do what I'm gonna do. But you guys, even his father kind of got caught up in hating on Terrence a little bit, right? Just a little bit.
Yeah, before the fight. Yeah, he did. He changed his tune.
And he changed his tune. He's like, I can't. Bosey, like, yo, bro, that dude's the greatest.
Mount Rushmore.
He's Mount Rushmore. Bro. He's the Mount.
Let me say this,
Boots. I think Boots probably. I think Boots will beat him. That's it. That's my son. But nah, bro, we're not playing that game, man. That man went and did something crazy this last weekend, bro. He did something wild, crazy, bro. And we got to give him his flowers, bro.
Yeah. Well, let me say this too, just to that. And if what's going to for real happen, what Turkey's talking about, it's a secret that's not so secret. And Terrence Crawford has an opportunity to become a 4-time undisputed in getting the 160-pound title, right? It will be very difficult for even historians to take away Terrence Crawford from the top 4 greatest, top 5 greatest of all time, because that's just history, bro. Like, now you're teaching it to kids. You're saying that 100 years from now, there's going to be a thing that says, well, a Jeopardy question is going to be, who's the only man? This person's the only person to ever win 4 undisputed titles. That's crazy, man. And the fact, and I want to say that, Clay, to say the fact that we're living in a time that boxing is so great that we have an opportunity to see one of the greatest fighters to have ever lived have an opportunity to fight for 4 undisputed championships in the 4-belt era. Come on, man. What's there to complain about?
No, it's like catching lightning in the bottle, bro. It's it's one thing to be able to do it. Like, maybe there's some fighters we could look at back in the day, like, that guy could have probably done it. But it's one thing to get the opportunity to actually do it, to try, right? Because he could have easily have failed just as much as he accomplished his goals. But a lot of great fighters that we know didn't even have an opportunity to do what Terrence is getting the opportunity to do. And that's what Turkey brings to the table, is he sees things like that and he has the resources to facilitate it. To be like, you know what? I'm gonna pay for it, bro. I want to see if you can do this, bro. You knock down 3. Yo, you think you can knock down 4? Yeah, probably. Go ahead, bro. Go for it. Go for 4. What? You sure? I'm gonna pay you, bro. For 50 million, 75 million, I got you, bro. You might lose, but yo, this is exciting me. Let's go for it, bro. Let's go ahead and get that unification between Arizlandi and Janabek out the way. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. You rest up, enjoy your parade. Okay, no pressure. You know what I mean, in a couple of months, let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can line something up. Yeah, I want to see it, man. Who knows? Maybe you might be able to. Who knows? Maybe you might be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think he could.
I know. So, but it's exciting to be a boxing fan right now. This is a great time to be a
hell
content
yes.
in space. It's a great time because we actually boxing was kind of like we were waiting on this. The opportunity part of history. Like just when you're doing your shows, right, and you're doing your lives, 20, 30 years from now, they'll reference your lives, right, for somebody who was there capturing this era of the sport. You're capturing it and you're putting it on your channel. It's here forever, bro, right? Like you're part of history. Like I'm part of history. We all creating content in this space. We're all part of history being made. This is our Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. This is our time. This is our moment to speak on boxing and to call it accurately. And I think that makes it even more important. And a lot of these guys who's on the opposite side of these conversations and hating on it are going to show up in history as those guys instead of showing up as the guys who was able to see it, identify it, and call it and call it accurately and celebrate it for what it actually is.
Yeah, what's wrong? That you know what it was, what this time is revealing a lot of, and I always say this constantly. It's like a recurrent thing. People, is revealing how many people don't really like boxing. Like they don't really like, or like maybe like is just not enough. Cause I love it. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Every fight call I had watching these fights, every fight I go to, that fight energy ain't nothing like it, bro. I really be enjoying every conversation we have. Like you could hear in certain content that people don't really enjoy it. Cause if you gotta lean so heavily to one side or the other, whatever side that is, that's telling me something, man.
You're not
you
even
really can't enjoy this.
You're not even
like
covering the sport legitimately. You're not even covering the sport. Like you're allowing the sport to fly by you. Like you're sitting here every single day. Yo, bro.
Sitting on everything.
I cannot cover Tank every day, bro. It's impossible. If he was fighting if he was fighting like every 2-3 months, okay. But this, how can I speak? And at the same time, if there was nothing else going on, maybe, but how can I pass all this boxing going on every single weekend, bro? From as low down as like a pro box card all the way up to, how can I choose to not speak on that and just go back to talking on how everybody hating on Tank? It shows you that they're not entertained. They don't see. I said the guy's name the other day. I'm not gonna say his name right now, right? But it's somebody who we watch, right? He has like 90, I don't know how many thousand subscribers, right? This man came up and said, yo, boxing is deader than it's been in the longest time. That man said it's so dead, there's nothing to talk about, bro. He was like, I don't even know. He's like, but we need to do something because boxing got nothing going on. And I said to myself, when I looked at him speaking, I looked at him and I said, he's dead ass serious. And I saw it and I had to give him, he's dead ass serious. And what it made me realize was this man don't like boxing.
I'm telling you.
He don't like boxing.
I told you.
He's dead serious. He means it in his heart. You can see it. Nothing to talk about, man. Boxing is dead, bro. I was like, whoa, dude. Really? Nothing is going on? Oh my goodness, bro.
That's why you got content creators and you got people with channels.
You see that, J-Pit know what I'm talking about. He know what I'm talking about. He said it, and I looked at this. At first, my first instinct was like, yo, this dude's full of shit, bro. The narrative is diabolical. You know how we go. This is ridiculous. But then I stopped and I looked at it and I said, hold up. Yo, the homie's serious. Homie's not.
Dead ass.
This is how he's feeling. He got nothing to talk about. He's dead. He got nothing to talk. Oh, let me just call out these super chats. Shout out to Culture Nerds in the building with the $2. Salute Clay in the panel. Tank don't want that work. Salute, Culture Nerds. Jake Pitt City in the building says, I need Clay on video saying that Tank or his team duck Devin, Shakur, Keyshawn, and Gary Russell's prime loaning team people. You see, I'm not gonna do that, right? I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I ain't got no problem with Tank not fighting these dudes. I'm okay with him not fighting these dudes, right? Do I want him to fight the dudes? Yes, but you know what I'm okay with? I respect his decision. What I have a problem with is the hell that, hold on a second, the hell that Devin got, Shakur got, Keyshawn got, Gary Russell got, Loma got, Tiafimo got. The hell that they flipped on those guys that you just mentioned in that statement and try to turn into those guys duck Tank. That those guys didn't want to fight Tank. That's where I hold the issue. Like, no, don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Tank ain't want to fight those guys. And once again, I'm not saying he's scared of them. I'm just saying he did not want to fight them for whatever his reason are. He wasn't interested in fighting them, period.
And I'll tell you, I'll add one more thing to that, Just, and that is the problem really, and inside the ring with Max Kellerman and LaShawn McCoy and Coppinger and Ryan Garcia, they were all talking about today. They're doing a Hall of Fame list, and Clay and we've done the Hall of Fame list here before, right?
Right.
And this was like 3 months ago, okay, when we did the list, and none of us had Tank on the Hall of Fame. And guess what's happening now, bro? You got Max Kellerman and Ryan Garcia and all these guys all saying the same shit that me and Clay and the panel was saying. Respectfully. They were being respectful about it.
Just saying, this man, the conversation that you guys want this man in, this man doesn't want himself in that conversation. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's letting you know. What did he say when our good brother, the boxing source, asked a question? That man says, I ain't no face of boxing, bro. I'm just a boxer. He lets you know I don't want nothing to do with this, man. Stop it. What you guys want, I don't want.
Did you happen to hear Greg Hackett had a breakdown? Like a little breakdown as far as like
that's my
Jake Paul's situation, like the things that he touched on was really key. You know, I like playing stuff like that on the channel, so I had played it, but he's talking like how he could be burnt out and shit from the the business, the shit that come with boxing, the time that you put in. And when you just look at the energy, he's standoffish, look like you tired of it. He's speaking about being away, speaking about being better. That is not a guy that's trying to fight those other guys, because he might be at a point where enough might be enough, or at least a break might be necessary for him. He might need that. Legal situations like that shit could be probably taxing on the mental. And then I think one of the big reasons why he ain't prioritized these fights, because he wasn't programmed to think like that. He broke the mold a different way, Clay. Like most people gotta go through that fire to get the recognition he got. He was able to doing it his way, fighting whoever they deem necessary for him to fight, right? While he said, I didn't ask for no names. They bring me a contract, I signed it, and I didn't have a problem with that because it was working. So to me, it's like I could see where the lack of incentive to go outside of what you naturally do because it's been working. And then you got a Floyd Mayweather telling other guys, look, don't worry about him. Y'all focus on each other, fight each other. Like, we doing this over here, we getting money. Like, Loma want to fight because, he getting old and he old. You get what I'm saying? We making money doing this. That's telling you what. And then I think as time goes on, his why could change as well. Maybe he came in wanting to prove something once upon a time, but you talking about a guy with kids now. Now he talking different. He talking about being softer, the fire being out of him. That shit sound different. Listen to Calvin Ford talking recently in an interview, talking about the music that he listening to is different. It's more calm. He talking about glimpses. He mentioned the word glimpses of Tank in there. I said, what?
That man playing with pigeons,
man, bro.
Like Mike before, right? When Mike changed it up, right? When Mike, when Mike was talking about, what'd you do, Garrett? Nothing. I was just playing with my pigeons. And I was like,
you get me?
Mike, it's done.
Like it seemed like his mind is almost like out of it. And I would never fault the man for that. He gave it 20 plus years. He was 6, 7 years old when he started. He 30 now. Like, what was that, 23 years, 22, 23 years of this shit?
I'm going to give it to you like this, right, Just? Tank is emotionally, I'm gonna keep it frank with you. He's emotionally immature, okay? And what I mean by that is he doesn't know how to deal with his emotions well. When he gets hot and he gets bothered, he gets off track, and he got derailed by the whole entire transition of Showtime and the PBC going away from each other and going to. He got derailed because he was in limbo for a minute there, right? There was a minute there where he was waiting on the word as to what his future was going to be, and he was getting promised a lot of things. And so he sat back patiently and he was waiting. At the same time, simultaneously dealing with house arrest, dealing with the city turning against him, dealing with his houses being burnt down, dealing with all these different little things that were going on, but at the same time waiting on that word to come in on what was going to happen for him. And when they finally sent him that word, he thought he was good at that Frank Martin press conference. He was like, yo, it culminated to this. He was talking to Najee. He said, yo, this deal that's got to get announced, yo, this one's going to be bigger than Floyd, everybody. It finally came to a point where he was happy. And then it didn't play out that way. And he wasn't able to get it back, just, you know what I'm saying? His emotional space that he was in mentally, he wasn't able to get it back. And you know what the OGs around him, the Calvin Fords and the people who are older around him that he probably listened to said, bro, F this, bro. Don't let this game change you like that. If it's going to be like that, bro, you might as well walk away from it. If you're going to turn into this person and be this emotional mess that you're being, and you're getting into arguments with your baby mamas, you're getting in arguments with me as your coach, you're getting in arguments on the internet, on social media, bro. No, bro. That's why. What did he do? He went to Islam for a minute, right? Abdul Wahid, right? He tried to do that. This was his journey, his path, trying to find some peace of mind throughout the whole entire situation. And ultimately, at the end of the day, he came to the decision: if it's going to be boxing or it's going to be me, he's picked him. He picked me.
Facts. I love that.
I'm picking me, bro. I'm picking me, bro. So I'm making this money. Shit. I'm going to try to get the biggest bags I can this year. You guys got me for one last year. I'm going to try my best to do whatever I can to make this money, but it's me or boxing, and I've got to pick me because boxing is taking too much from me. And at this point, I'm either going to break and ruin every relationship that I have in my life, whether it be me and Calvin, me and my children, me and my children's mother, whatever it is, me and my own family, or I'm going to pick myself and walk away from this and say, this ain't it. Tank can legitimately come back in a year without a doubt.
Yes.
And be completely back on point and be like, listen,
rejuvenated.
I want all the belts. I want all them dudes that was talking crazy to me. A whole different energy, and we can all be supportive of that when he does that. But at the same exact time, there's nothing wrong with acknowledging right now that Tank, this space is too toxic for Tank right now. He doesn't have the emotional maturity to deal with this shit. The best way he can deal with it is to just shut it out. He doesn't have the ability to deal with it without losing his cool. That's why he's trying to let everybody know, like, I need to get myself together, because he knows when I get upset, it's not a good look for me. I'll be looking bad out here. I'll be saying crazy stuff. I get into it with people. I got domestic violence issues, you know what I mean, that people are putting on me. I got all types of arguments I'm getting on. He even said it in one time in an interview. He says, I'm even learning how to deal with women better. He's like, back in the day, I would just lose my cool. He's like, I'm learning how to deal with women better, but he needs to get away from this sport, this violent sport that has catapulted his life where he's at right now, to get his mind in a place to where he can deal with these things on a mature level. We all go through it. Even me, myself, you know, I've been there, bro. I've been there to where I'm just I'm a hothead. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hothead, bro. And sometimes you got to be man enough to admit that and understand that the best thing you can do is get out of that environment. Before you step out of the environment, bro. Acknowledge yourself. I'm a man. I'm a married man. I can sit in a strip club and probably not do nothing. But at the same time, the wrong night, man, come on, man. The wrong night. You know the best thing I could do? I just don't go in the strip club, bro.
Don't put yourself in the environment.
Why test myself that way? And that's what Tank is doing. Why test myself that way? Why play the games of talking back and forth on press conferences? And you saw how he lost it when he was with Lamont Roach in that press conference, when he was trying to be cool, like, yeah, we cool, hey man, you know what I mean? I know him. Soon as somebody says something, who you gonna get him messed up? That's what you about to do. People find entertainment in it, but that man is not happy to be in that mindset where he knows he can easily be triggered and gaslighted into speaking the way he doesn't want to speak. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like looking back at the video of him doing that and seeing him and knowing that he went into that press conference saying that one thing I ain't gonna do is that, and then he did it anyway. he loses control.
Right, because if you look at him from the Frank Martin to the Lamont Roach, bro, he was like a fucking kid with Frank Martin. Like he's looking like he was feeling good. Like Tank, you been working on that black backflip? Yeah, you want to see like a little bad kid? You just
Bro,
do
I
the
was
flip
so
without even
excited.
asking. I was like, look at this dude, yo. He full of his color. He good. He healthy. Frank Martin on the other end, he's struggling.
Yeah,
Frank
that boy
and
struggling a little
Tank
bit.
doing backflips and shit. So that's what I'm saying. That will stop you from taking those bigger fights. Your mental doesn't sound like, and your heart together is not all the way in it where it needs to be respectfully for you to compete at the level that you compete at, the standard that you set, Tank. And I'm for the fighter. That's why I never uttered a bad word about the decision that he made, because I'm always coming from a place. I'm gonna have criticisms, but I'm gonna leave room to try to understand the fighter and the person too. Shit is real, man. And like what you just explained, that's a lot of what Greg Hackett was hitting on as well. Like just the mental and just being worn out from this shit. Like all those different things that play a factor that you just hit on a lot of different points. You telling me that's not draining? Imagine how many people want something from him. Man, let's be honest, bro. They built his career because they knew it was like lucrative for people. So it wasn't about trying to put him into dangerous fights. It was about making money. That shit could be taxing too. They treating you like a damn lick. Go fight this one. Like, come on. Maybe in your heart as a fighter, you know who you should be fighting, but they telling you the whole time, like, look, you don't need these guys. And then what they have on their side to help make their argument is the success with the numbers and different things like that, right? Like, it's hard to tell if you not doing the right thing because you constantly succeeding, right? You having to outdo yourself at certain points. So it's just a lot, man. Like I
And
said,
they
it's
make it the way he can't speak, right? Think about
right.
that. Think about how much they pacified him throughout his whole entire process, the things that he probably wanted to say. When people called him out, the way he wanted to respond, the way he wanted to speak to the nonsense, like, what? Sign that dude up. Let's get that dude out of here. Floyd would jump in there, right? Hey, man. Hey, yo, y'all gonna stop doing that to him, man. He don't need to do nothing. He don't want to do. He don't want. He's sitting there being quiet, like,
yeah, he like, what? And in his heart, he like, bro, I'll call these dudes up, bro. What you talking about? Like, and that's why I say I'm always respect that man, like in his decisions, bro. I get what we want to see, but I ain't so selfish that I can't understand what the fighter might want for himself.
that you can't read
And
the
that
room.
shit is clear, right?
Yeah.
If he ready to go, it'd be smart to go out with a nice cushion that could change your families. That Davis last name, future, right? Y'all good, you set. Like that ain't that what it's really about too. So it's so much shit more than just having to prove to people that you were great. Like this legacy shit that people bark about. And I said it before, legacy don't just have to be the opponents that you faced and beat. It could be what kind of mark you made while you was here. And I think his is going to read that he was an attraction. He was highly entertaining. He packed the venues, right? And he made a lot of money. And maybe he's able to affect some type of change, whether that's just his family and that legacy that his family. You get what I'm saying? Like maybe that's good enough for him.
That's
You
good
get what I'm
enough for
saying?
him. But what his fans have to understand is that there'll be criticism as well. But that criticism doesn't have to define Tank, right? But this is part of the game, right? Like he did leave fights on the floor. He did leave. He didn't make certain fights, and the power was on his side to make the fights. Did he have a legitimate reason? Potentially, right? But boxing still has to be boxing. When we're talking about boxing, for me personally, when I'm talking about boxing and you talking about me comparing him to his peers and comparing him to Shakur or Devin or Teofimo or Lomachenko or any of these great fighters, even Lamont Roach now, Gary Antoine Russell, Gary Russell Jr., other fighters that we wondered what would happen if he got in the ring with, I can't see those guys attempting to be great and making the hard fights. I can't watch Teofimo fight Shakur Stevenson and whatever the results come from that fight come and act like, if you're putting Tank up against those dudes, I have to call it correctly. Nothing personal against Tank and saying that Tank is not a human being or a person who's worthy of empathy or grace. He's worthy of it all. Everybody is. But if you're giving me, if you're challenging my analyst pedigree, speak accurately and honestly about what's going on, I have to call it the way I see it. You know what I mean? And people have to stop making that personal. They have to stop making that personal. Like I'm unlike a lot of people, I'm saying I'm okay with his decisions. I'm okay because I know why he's making those decisions. And 10 years from now, I will say it. He was not in the mental space to make those fights happen. He was not in the mental space to fight those fights. But OG, if he wasn't in the mental space, but Shakur did it. He had hurt hands. He fought Williams and Payne, then he went and fought Shakur. Then he went and fought Teofimo Lopez, became a 4-weight class champion. Then he went and moved on, and he did other great things. He fought Devin Haney. He went up and he challenged himself, and he fought at 147. He fought Conor Benn. Then he went and he moved around. But come on, bro, I gotta respect Shakur as well, right? And I can't take Shakur's accomplishments and make that equate to what Tank did. You understand what I'm saying? Out of respect to Shakur, I have to be like, bro, he just didn't do that. Could he have done it? Yeah, he probably could have done it, but he chose not to do it. And history will have to call that accurately for what it is, and people have to know that that's not saying that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, it's not an attack.
It's just calling it what it is. It's just calling it for what it is.
Right. And you know what? I'm big on like what I think people wise are. I think people wise be different, like why they doing what they're doing. I think some guys really care about that legacy part, right? And they know the money is gonna come with it. And I think some guys are cool making the money and getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Ultimately, the decisions is going to dictate what your why was, regardless of what you say. It's going to be what you do that's going to determine that to me. So
that's it. We got to call out.
Like,
there's a nice kid in the class, right? He's a good kid. You like the kid. Like he's, you can see goodness in the kid. You can see that the kid has every good intention in the world, and you try to help the kid out. But he's a C student, bro. He just is. It is what it is, right? But then you got the A students, the guys who are working hard, studying, staying after for extra help, scoring the A's. I can't take the A student and bring the C student up to the A student and be like, yo, bro, I know he didn't do as much as you did, and he
right.
But he's a good kid. Okay, I see you empathizing with the C student. I see you wrapping your arms around him and embracing the C student because you don't want him to feel bad. But what about the A student? What do you owe him? Is he not owed to be on that platform only with other A students? And if he's the only A student, shouldn't he be up there by himself being celebrated for being that A student for all that work he did? Should he be? No, he shouldn't be. So we owe everybody empathy. We owe everybody their just due. Shout out to my opponents. We owe everybody. And sometimes that price comes with accountability. Accountability sometimes sounds like hate. It sounds like you're not being sensitive, but no, this is boxing. I keep trying to tell people I don't know none of these dudes enough to not like somebody the way you guys would like to not like them. I said this one time on your show. I said, I think you guys think I want to see a guy lose more than I want to see him fight.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you guys are caught up on the wrong thing. You think I want to see him fight. When I say I want to see Tank fight Shakur and you respond to me, you just want to see him lose. That sounds crazy to me. First of all, it sounds crazy. That's your guy. Why do you think he's going to lose? Secondly,
that sounds wild.
Secondly, nah, bro, I want to see the styles clash. I'm a boxing fan. I want to see a stylistically crazy fight. I want to see a great fight, bro. I'm asking him to fight who I'm asking him to fight because I think he's worthy. This is a gladiator sport. I think he's one of only a few that can give me that fix I need as far as the kind of fight I want to see Shakur Stevenson in. This is a compliment. This is boxing.
They don't get it.
To want to see a fighter fight is a compliment. It's not like the streets. I can see if he was in the streets just doing, you was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, low key, bro. I want to see Harold get into it with Tyrone, bro. What? Yeah, I just want to say that's toxic. Like, man, what the hell you doing? Bro?
Yeah, right.
Nah, I just want to see. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just think that'll be a crazy fight, bro. Come on, this is boxing, fam. I'm supposed to. If I don't want to see a fighter fight, there's a problem. If I don't want to see him fight, that's not a good thing.
He set a certain standard. And he made it so that we want to see him fight.
Right.
You get me? And we want to see how great these guys all are. Like I really feel like Tank would be a guy that really show us how smart a Shakur is or can be, and vice versa. I think they'll bring the best out of each other. But I would only want to see that with Tank being fully locked in. I'm a
That's another thing
true
as
boxing
well.
supporter. He don't seem like he's fully engaged in
That's a whole
combat
other level as well, bro.
all the
Him
way.
not being,
Right.
I want to see him able to do it. I don't want to
Yeah.
see him crippled
Hell
in there
yeah.
mentally going through issues. I don't want to hear excuses later.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
Me
okay
neither.
with him not fighting as well. Like, nah, just don't fight, bro. Just don't. Please don't waste
Right.
my time and make me have
Right.
to make excuses. Because once again,
Yeah.
what about Shakur? What about Devin? What about those guys? If they do win, we take away their victories now. I'm like, nah, that
Right.
dude was.
You,
Look how they trying to take Terrence Crawford's victory out. Canelo had the elbow
Right.
surgery. As soon as that elbow surgery came out, there it is. I knew he wasn't throwing that left hand. He wasn't throwing it. I told you guys, like, even though we know that's nonsense, but nobody wants to hear that type of crap. Hold on one second. The Butcher says we don't know if he had the power. We don't know what his contracts say with PBC. Sometimes promoters have more to say than the boxer. And I agree with you. All those could be playing parts in it. But you know what? This guy right here, Errol Spence, Devin Haney, right? These guys, this guy right here, the way he talked in this interview right here that we're going to watch in a minute, I want to see Jerron talk like this guy.
Hey, Clay, I was going to ask you, did you want to just keep going with this one and just go past the 2 hours, or did you want to stop and then go do a second?
Oh, no, let's just go through it. Let's just go past it. Let's
Okay.
look, yeah, go ahead. If you still on, Clay, I'll try to pop back up.
All right, no doubt. Actually,
Like,
I'm going to hit
if
play.
not, I'm gonna be listening. So
no doubt.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, family. Thank you for popping up here, man. And
you have me on.
You good, bro. But we got your back, man. Always had your back. Just,
Sure, appreciate y'all.
Hey, good to have you on, bro.
Definitely, bro.
Yeah, I want to sit back and speak on this interview. Did you get a chance to watch this, by the way, Angela?
I haven't. This would be my first time watching it.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Let's have at it, bro. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Good seeing you. I can tell you're in great spirits ahead of this fight with Anthony Yarde. Let me know how this fight came about, because I was surprised that you went this route with Yarde.
Yeah, so there was a lot of options on the table. Obviously we wanted to get a great fight because the last fight with me and David Morrell lived up to expectation. I think it exceeded expectations. So we wanted to give the fans a good fight. We were in line for Bivol for the belts, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So we were looking, to get a crowd-pleasing fight. And we're trying to fight the best in the division of 175. If it's not the champions, we want to fight the next best guys. We're looking at some options, but the only one that really manifested itself was the fight with Anthony Yarde. And I think this is a crowd-pleasing fight. Anthony Yarde, he's a great fighter. He still has a ton of fight in him. He's been in there with Archer Beterbiev, Kovalev. So he's been up there with, the top guys. And I feel like this is probably going to be the most he comes prepared for any fight, because he's lost his last two title fights. And, I feel like he knows that this is probably the last opportunity, not his last opportunity, but this is, he has to take advantage of this opportunity. So I'm not taking Anthony Yarde lightly. I know he has a dog in him. I know he has a lion in him, but, I have the lion in me as well. So this is going to be a perfect fight for my first fight with Riyahd season. We got two bad men going in there. None of them is going to back off each other. And like I said, it's time to go to war. So if that's what the fans want to see, let's give the fans what they want to see.
I know there's been a little bit of confusion online. You told me earlier, but you're still with PBC, right?
Oh, great. A request for a new video.
Gotta pay the bill.
1,000 people to get it done. Or you can just use Riverside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still PBC, Al Heyman, Samson Lukowicz. We're still together, but, the thing about with me and Al Heyman, we have a special type of relationship, because I felt like, in a way, Al Heyman is kind of like, the grandfather, him and Samson Lukowicz, they've taken care of me, and they just want me to succeed, and they want to give me the biggest opportunities. When Al Heyman told me that he was not going to stop my momentum, he said there was an opportunity with the Riyahd season with Turkey Al-Sheikh. And, I think this is something that everybody's doing. Everybody's going out there because they're putting the biggest fights together. And, why can't I get a piece of that? You know what I mean? And so I really appreciate that from my team, Al Heyman, Samson Lukowicz, and, you know, they allow me to go this route. And, you know, like I said, I'm very grateful for this. And not only am I grateful for fighting with Riyahd season, but I'm grateful because I don't want to just be a regional fighter. I want to be a worldwide fighter. And this is the first time that I'm going to fight in a different country. And
so I'm going to stop right here just to comment on this part right here real quick, right? So right here, you're hearing the heart of a real fighter, right? The heart of a fighter is to be the biggest fighter they can be, right, Reyes? They want to be world level. They want to be challenged. They want to be on the biggest stages.
I know,
right? Right. This is what they want.
I
right?
know.
And shout out to the PBC, Al Heyman, and those guys, right, who are co-signing him doing this. And but what did he say? He said that Al Heyman said, "I'm not going to hold you back."
Yes,
right?
Hold you back from these opportunities. Yeah.
What does that mean? I want to translate it to go to one level deeper to say that those guys can give you something I just am not in position to give you right now.
Right.
And I'm not going to make you wait on me. Right. This is speaking transparently to somebody like Jose Benavidez, who doesn't have time to play. David Benavidez, excuse me, who doesn't have time to play the games and play the politics. How true is it? Not true is I don't know, bro. I don't even know if Al Heyman exists sometimes. I don't remember the last time we seen that man, right? But at the end of the day, I know. I'm just trying to say, like, I don't even know who this guy is for real time, right? But the most important thing though is that David Benavidez made it clear that his aspirations and his legacy was very important to him. And that's why he's over there in Riyadh season, acknowledging that they're putting together the biggest fights, the biggest events, right? And that they're not going to get in his way of doing that. But all these fighters want this. Am I bugging Rays? I mean, yeah, you got your Tank Davis who don't want it, but for the most part, right?
It's not even that. I mean, you and Just Do were kind of speaking on this earlier, but we've had a deep conversation about this before, about what fighters are like when you're in there with them, right? Mm-hmm. And I've told you that fighters in general, if they truly love the craft, if they truly love the art, like David Benavidez actually does, then when he said that line, why can't I get a piece of this? I think part of that is him saying, so let me get this straight. Everyone else is getting to fight the best versus the best in these world stages, and I'm basically this regional guy. That it's almost like David himself has been like, I've been working at this since back even before my wild card days when people were calling me the fat kid in the corner, right? Now, I'm the guy that everybody is saying is the best. I'm the effing cover of Ring Magazine, which is an honor to be the cover of Ring Magazine. The cover of Ring Magazine right now, if you guys want to pick it up, is David Benavidez, and the word is unstoppable, right? Well, how do we know he's unstoppable if he's not getting to fight the best in the world, right? So, to me, that's him even saying it like, I'm not believing the hype on myself until I prove to myself that I'm the best, right? So he wasn't afraid. He wasn't like, I didn't want to challenge Bivol. Bivol didn't want to do it for whatever reason. Had to get whatever surgery is, bro. I don't know. Okay. It wasn't going to be Better Biev either because the Beterbiev Bivol thing was kind of like the Tank Lamont Roach thing. Are we fighting? Are we not fighting? Are we fighting in Russia? What the hell's going on? Now I'm out of the loop, right? Because I'm telling you right now, knowing Beterbiev and his team, there's no way Beterbiev would have said no to David Benavidez. We might have been seeing Benavidez-Beterbiev in November. But again, it didn't happen that way. So now here's David Benavidez saying, I'll take on the number 4 guy. Because the number 4 guy is the one guy that's willing to give it his all, and we know he's one of the best in the world. And I've told you this before, Clay. Do not be surprised if Riyahd actually surprises a lot of people. Everything changes when you fight in Riyadh, bro. Riyadh is like
these are risky fights. These are lay down fights, bro. These are very hard fights, bro.
Very risky, right? And again,
on the other side of these fights, victories make you somebody. They change your status.
Yeah.
They make you. This is earned stripes. Each one of these fights, when you look at it being whether it's Yardy, whether it's Better Biev, whether it's Bivol, whether it's Zurdo Ramirez, whether it's all the way up to Jayo Pataya, all these fights are milestone fights. These fights define your career, define your legacy, and make Hall of Fame fighters. these fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Caleb
That's
Smith's
what they
there.
are.
Buatsi's there.
Right.
David Morrell's still there. Katayev is there.
Right.
I mean, there's so many names
Anthony Lopez will
in
be
that
there.
division, and the fact that David Benavidez has not gotten a chance to fight any of them is absurd, bro. I mean, it really is. So I think in his young career, he wants to test himself. Having said that, I also believe that if David Benavidez sparks him, we shouldn't take it away from him. We shouldn't say some of the things that even David Benavidez pointed out, that this might be his last leg. He's going to try his best. Like, a lot of the things that David is saying is all valid to a point. But if you hear Yardy's interviews and if you hear Anthony Yard, the way he talks to Talk Sport in London or in the UK, to all the media on that side of the pond, bro, he's talking like he's about to upset America. Like, you know, like almost like the way Hamza Shiraz shocked a lot of people when he put a beat down on Carlos Berlanga. So I'm excited for this fight, Clay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, no, without a doubt, this fight is super competitive. This is not a laydown. And I think, you know, what he was based. I mean, I know you know what he was saying, but ultimately stating that this guy's going to come in and put it all on the line because this guy knows that this is his third title fight. People aren't promised that. There's fighters who only get one title fight, two title fights in their career. To get a third one on a stage like this is a big opportunity. It's not promised to happen again. I'm sure Anthony Yard is going to treat it like that, and he's going to put all he has into this fight. Let's let David go ahead and continue.
Saudi Arabia, so this is going to be you know, a little you know, it's going to be a gift for the fans in Saudi Arabia. You know, when I went over there the first time to see Bivol Better Be a fight, you know, a lot of people show love, and I know I have a lot of fans out there. So, you know, this is going to be a great fight for all the fans in Saudi Arabia. Not only is my fight going to be great, but the whole card is great. You got Devin Haney, Brian Norman, you got Abdullah Mason, you got Bam Bam Rodriguez, you know, and then there's probably going to be another fight, you know what I mean, on there. So, this is a great fight, man. And this is what I want to do in my career. Not only do I want to headline great fights, but I want to headline great cards. And this is what I think this is our third. This is going to be our second or third. The second card that it's headlined by superstars. So, you know, I'm just excited to just keep this going and, you know, keep this momentum going.
Yeah, man, that card is stacked. There's so many people on there, and want to get your thoughts on some of the fights.
Now, also real quick, he's also commenting on the value of the cards he's fighting on, right? People made a big deal out of David Benavidez saying that he wanted to fight in front of the biggest stadiums, the biggest crowds in Vegas, which I'm sure he does, right? But also on the same playing field is the magnitude of the card. He wants to be on cards like this, cards that he's headlining over Devin Haney and Brian Norman, Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes, Bam Rodriguez and Puma. I can't remember his name is Puma.
Puma Martinez. Puma Martinez.
Right. He wants to be part of cards like this. He understands from the outside watching and looking in. He's seeing these big cards get put together, and he wants to be part of them. Right. Like without a doubt.
No, absolutely.
You fighting over there. I know like Samson for a while wanted to keep you here in the U.S. How was that like combo with Samson?
It's good, man. Samson, he's always been there for me since the beginning. You know, he's the one that gave me the opportunity. But sometimes when, you know, we both live out our contracts, I got to do what's best for me.
Now, listen, right? I told you guys a long time ago. I told you guys about this, that Samson Leakowitz, if he wasn't going to be on board, that David Benavidez was going to have to go a separate direction from this guy. I told you guys this was not going to continue to work, that Samson, the road that Samson Leakowitz took with Sebastian Fundora, getting him to vacate his WBO title to be a company man, was never going to fly with this man. This man right here was not going to allow no company to play no games with his career, bro, in the spirit of saving a company. He let, when you push his back to the wall, shout out to my guy Just Do, he was going to stand on truth. He wasn't going to allow a lie to sink his ship. Well, watch him speak on it and keep it 100. Watch him keep it 100, bro.
Right now, we're still together, but like I said, I want to have my own promotion company one day. I want to make my own moves, just like like Mayweather, Canelo, and all them guys are doing. You know, we did what we did for about 10 years, you know what I mean? And I'm grateful for him. And, you know, we're just going to finish our contract and then go to the next step.
You know, when you look at going to Saudi Arabia and training over there, especially for a guy like Yard, who like is all action. He's like, go, go, go. And he's a big puncher. What adjustments do you have to make, David, not only for the time difference, but for the type of opponent you have coming up?
So for the opponent coming up, honestly, the
leads are broke. You just don't understand. They don't have the money. They have fear. They just want to do it later.
I thrive better with these type of opponents because they come to me. I don't have to go chase them. You know what I mean? So we're both going to display our heart, and we're both going to see who's a better tactician, who's better technically in that fight. It's not all about just going in there and throwing the biggest shots. Obviously, we can both throw big shots, but it's how you set stuff up, how you do the defense. And, I'm not going to say it's easy for me, but it's going to be easier. I'm going to be able to establish my game plan easier, basically. Not saying the fight's going to be easy, but these are the fights. This is what I like. I'm comfortable with this. So, just the thing for me is you get to a point where you have to look at the fighter. You have to see what he does good, see what he does bad, break it down, get plans A through B through C through D. And you know what I mean? If the first plan doesn't work, we go to plan B. If the plan B doesn't work, we go to plan C. So I've have a lot of experience of my own. So, you know what I mean? I'm going to just use that. I'm in the prime of my career right now. I've just turned 28 years old, and I turned 29 this year. So, yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to go out there and perform and be the best version of myself. As for acclimating to the time and all the difference over there.
This is your first international fight?
This is my first international fight. Well, not first, because I fought in Mexico, but but yeah, it's my real in
another hemisphere.
But we're going out there. We're trying to go out there a month before to acclimate with the time, and this is something different that we've done. So I can't really tell you how I'm going to do that, but we're going out there for a month in advance, and then just see what we have to do to make sure we're acclimated and we're 100% ready for the time difference.
You're in this weight division, 175 pounds. You have the undisputed champion in Dimitri Bivol, who's reigning, but he has we think a rubber match with Artur Beterbiev scheduled at.
I'm gonna pause it right here real quick. What are you hearing, Angelo? As you're watching David Benavidez do this interview and you hear him speaking, what are you hearing?
No, I feel like he's in that spot where he's being as raw as he can, but he also is holding back on some things. So there's parts of what he's saying that's like, I've seen it before when a fighter has to do promotions. Mm-hmm. He's kind of promoting, like certain things. I was starting to think in my head that because he said it's going to be a tactical fight, I don't have to come to him. I like these type of fights. He comes to me. That this is going to remind us of 2023 when Anthony Yarde fought Beterbiev. And for you guys who have not seen it, go on YouTube, treat yourself, as the great comedian once said, treat yourself and go watch Beterbiev and Anthony Yarde. And if Anthony Yarde can somehow recreate that version of himself in 2023 at the age of 34 years old right now, bro, this fight's going to be nuts, like crazy nuts. And it'll actually make me now want to see Beterbiev versus Benavidez if Yarde can do that. And let's not forget, Clay, David Benavidez did not knock out David Morrell.
Yeah.
Did he even knock down David Morrell?
No.
Did he knock down?
He kind of got knocked down low key, right? Like, I mean, it was a shady knockdown, but it was a 10 count. But he did. Knock down David. I don't think he even hurt David Morrell.
Right, but Katayev knocked down David Morrell.
Right.
You see what I'm trying to say? You see what I'm like? Again, and I'm a big David Benavidez guy, just like you. All right, but we got to keep it 100. David Benavidez does not have power in the sense when we talk about like a George Foreman. That's not where his power comes from. David Benavidez's power actually comes from kind of like how Pacquiao's power comes from. From quick, fast shots, cumulative, bam, 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 right? But can he do that to Yarde? And this is why I keep saying, to the chat, I don't know, man. We're going to see. It'll be fun. I definitely wouldn't bet against Benavidez. I'm just saying things are different in Riyadh play.
Yeah, things are different. The motivation is definitely there. It's definitely there. I think the conditioning is going to play a big part. If Anthony Yarde is going to do something significant, it's going to be in the first half of that fight. First 5, rounds or so, that's where it's going to be. As it gets into the second half of that fight, it's going to become difficult for him to deal with the pressure of David Benavidez. His conditioning, he has a lot of muscle. His conditioning just isn't, unless he shocks us with a Christian and Billy performance, because Christian and Billy, I thought, had conditioning issues, and he pushed, even though he looked like his heart was going to blow up out his chest in the 8th, 9th round, right? Looked like he's going to legitimately die inside that, that ring, but he was throwing them, though, at the end of the day. But more so, listen to the ambition into what David Benavidez is position is, how he's posturing in this interview. He's posturing boss. He's posturing.
Yes.
I have my career in my hand, and
I'm 28. I'm in the prime of my life.
I want to be a boss.
I'm in control.
Right.
I'm
taking it away. I've given everybody an opportunity to do what they've done. He talked on Samson. He said, 10 years I've been with Samson. He got me to this point. I appreciate him for getting me this far. But he's posturing and letting it be known that the young lion has his mane. Right. And I'm about to go get my own females and my own pride. And I got my own thing I'm working on doing right now. And I've been given the opportunity and the ability to do me the way I always wanted to do me. And I'm finna take full advantage of it, right? Like, I've been given the keys. Turkey has given me the keys and said, this is your ride. It's called your career. It's called your legacy. It's called your greatness, your story. And he's like, thank you. That's all I ever wanted. And now he's running with it. And if the price is Samson Leukowitz has to step to the side, respectfully, if Samson truly loves me, that's what he'll do. But if he doesn't love me enough to do that, it doesn't matter, because this is the way I'm moving. He said it, right? Our contract is coming to an end. We're coming to the end of it. So if he didn't want to, if Samson and him was always on the same page all the way, he wouldn't have brought that up. He'd be like, yo, Samson, he let it be known that, yeah, we're about to probably go in our separate directions, because I'm not compromising my greatness for nobody. There's nobody getting, my own father knows to be in the right lane where you're supposed to be, because nobody's stopping me from this. This was written. This is legacy. This is what it's all about. And shout out to the Butcher. I think the Butcher said, yeah, right here, Samson and PBC getting a cut of his pay. Of course they are. He's in contract with them, but that's not the point. The point isn't that they're getting a cut. The point is that what he's letting you know in this interview is that he's steering and navigating his ship. He's in the driver's seat. He's the captain now. Right. They're coming with him. They're riding with him, and they're going to get paid. They want to play their position. But David Benavidez is doing what people want to see Jaron do, to be honest with you. Yes. Jaron Ennis. But he's doing what you want to see Jaron Ennis do. They want to see Jaron Ennis say no to that. Yes, it is. Nah, what is this? Nah, I want this. Go do what I told you to go do. Because you can. Because Turkey's there. But you've got to take advantage of that, right? You got to make, if that's really what you want, and that's what makes it, I think, hard for people to process and digest Jaron Ennis's position on like this Lima fight, right? They're saying, okay, I know Eddie's telling you to do this. I know you're listening to Eddie. What we're saying is, why though? Why listen to him? You don't have to listen to him. Just make the big fight with Virgil. Turkey's right there. Eddie's gonna ride with you, bro. Just do it. But he's saying, nah, me and Eddie have an understanding. He's my manager. I'm going to let him be the manager. I'm going to be the fighter. This is the way I've been raised traditionally to be as a boxer. But not everybody thinks like that. This guy here on the screen doesn't think like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, can I also just say, to Jaron Ennis's credit, it was also his detriment that he was so loyal to PBC for so long. Because remember, Eddie tried to sign him even before they finally signed with each other just a year ago, right? He was trying to be loyal to the PBC. He was trying to be loyal. All right, you guys are going to move my career a certain way. And when he saw that it wasn't happening, and he saw he's nearing his peak. So to be fair to Jaron Butsinas, for all of you guys who continue to criticize him like he shouldn't already be talent-wise, Clay, and I know I get shit for this all the time, but talent-wise, I believe he should be on the pound-for-pound list. Talent-wise, I get that he hasn't proven it yet, because blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Clay, in the short time he's been with Eddie, he's already unified the 147. He's already become the Ring Magazine 147 champ. So we don't have one of those yet. Brian Norman isn't the Ring Magazine 147 champ. Great as he has been. Devin Haney, I mean, we'll see. I guess maybe he'll get a shot. Maybe he won't. Mario Barrios isn't. Rolly Romero, who's about to fight Manny Pacquiao December 27th, he's not either. So, you know, Jaron Boots Enos left the 147 division as the king, bro. People need to recognize that. He was the king. He moved up to 154. Is Virgil Ortiz really a super fight? Not really. I don't think Turkey's going to give you $50 million to fight Virgil Ortiz, because all respect to Virgil, man, and I love Virgil, especially because he loves the Raiders. But Virgil ain't even a real champion yet. I mean, I hate that I have to say that shit, but it's true. He's not. He's an interim champ. So how is Virgil and Boots already at a level where they could be like a Canelo Crawford? They are not, Clay. They are not. So why take that fight now? I think there's more money, if I'm being honest with you. There's more money with a unification at 154 with Xander Zayas. If Boots gets to fight the Boss Baru first.
Right. There's definitely, but I mean, there's a story. I mean, Turkey did offer Jaron the Virgil fight. He offered it to him. That's the
but
fight
not for $50 million, Clay. Not for $50 million.
Nobody's getting a $50 million. Jaron Ennis is not getting offered $50 million for shit.
I bet you Jaron Ennis is going to get $50 million in about 2 years from now, maybe a year and a half.
But the fight with Virgil was a significant fight because both these guys have a history. They've been talking back and forth, and Turkey was interested in the fight. Right? It was going to be more money than he's getting paid to go fight Lima right now. It was going to be more money than he got to fight Stanionis. It was going to be more money than, you know, it was going to be equivalent to or more money than to even fight Teofimo. Right? This was like this Virgil right now, I think on paper is Jaron Ennis's biggest fight that he can make, money wise. I think this is the biggest one. Yeah. Xander can be it once he gets that title from, if he fights Abbas Barrow and he becomes a champion. We're talking about unification. That fight can be in the conversation as a big fight for him. But as far as right now, just as is, Virgil is the fight that everybody wants to see and is clamoring for. It is the big fight, and it's a fight that Turkey offered him. Like, that's to show you it's the big fight, because that is the fight that legitimately Turkey was like, I got this one for you, and I want to pay you a bunch of money for it. And he was like, nah, not right now. We're going this way instead. Right. You know what I mean? So, but they want Jaron to do what we're watching David Benavidez do right now. And I'm not going to Jaron, because it's just like, I'm just letting it be known when people are upset at Jaron, this is what they're talking about. They're seeing, they believe he can do what you're watching David Benavidez do right now. They believe he has the power and the ability to move the needle the same way we're watching David Benavidez right now in this interview, and the way we watch him do it with the David Morrell fight when they try to put him in there with Jesse Hart. They believe he can do this right here. Why? Because Turkey's interested in working with you. Clearly, Turkey's already offered you the Teofimo fight. You didn't take it. Everybody was like, okay, 147, you don't want to stay there no more? Fine. Now he offers you the Virgil Ortiz fight for the second time, because he also offered it to you the first time before you fought Stanionis, but we let it go. We said, okay, he's going to unify with Stanionis. He's going to become a lineal champion. All right, fine. You're going to pass on that fight. Made Turkey look a little stupid, because Turkey put your name on a flyer and everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. Turkey walked away from it like, yo, I'm going to respect legacy. That's what I'm here for. I would just appreciate better communication, because you do have me looking like a whole poo putt out here. But you know what I'm saying? It's all good. I'll take that on the chin. Now we're back to the table again, and I bring Virgil again, and you're coming at me with tune-up talk. And whether it's you or your team, the people who represent your best interests are coming at me with tune-up talk, and you heard him saying, I don't do tune-ups. I'm not here for that. You want to do tune-ups, you do that with Eddie. I don't do tune-up fights. I'm here to make the biggest fights possible. I got Virgil. When you're ready to fight those big fights, I'm going to be here. And it doesn't look good for Jaron when the space is talking like that about him. When Virgil is saying, I'm ready for it, and Turkey's saying, I wanted to give it to him. And, you know, granted, Jaron is pushing back at that and saying that's not necessarily how it happened. There's these other parts that played his role in it. It is what it is. But when you're watching somebody like David Benavidez move the needle in this interview right here, the way he's doing it, the way he's taking control of Samson, the way he got Al Heyman on board, the way he's speaking in this interview and he's posturing and letting it be known like, nah, bro, we're making the biggest things happen. I have a plan for my career, and I'm about to move forward with it. That being said, let's continue moving, let him speak on it, because David's going to tell it better than I could ever tell it.
some point. Has it been told to you, David, that like if you win this fight, you're gonna get a crack at either Bivol or Beterbiev?
I mean, yeah, it's not. They haven't told me specifically that, but you know, I mean, just in the trajectory of what I'm doing, what I am. You know, I'm world champion at 175 with the WBC, so it's inevitable. It's just when it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I take my career one fight at a time. You know what I mean? I don't really let other fights kind of get into my brain. You know, I'm getting ready for Anthony Yard. I'm 100% focused on Anthony Yard, and whatever comes next comes next. But as for what I'm thinking of, you know, that's what else is there left? What other fights you guys want to see me fight? You know what I mean? Especially that we're here with Turki Al-Sheikh. We're getting these fights done. In my opinion, a fight with Beterbiev or Bivol is next. You know what I mean? And doesn't know, you know, if I was a different type of fighter, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to go talk to my team and see what's the best. No, the fights I want are Beterbiev and Bivol. You know what I mean? Just because I want to challenge myself. I want to be the best without a doubt. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes in the business sense, things happen. You know, so sometimes things are tricky, you know what I mean? And it's a little bit more difficult than just making the fight happen. But like I said, I'm pushing to make the biggest and best fights happen. And if we can't get that, then my plan is to get a fight with Shurda Ramirez at cruiserweight. It's just like, you know what I mean? I've been calling for these big fights. You know, I've been showing that, you know, I am.
Just one more screenshot and this SOP is finally done.
Damn it,
I back
YouTube.
up everything I say. You know what I mean? And I think, you know, I've been held back a lot, not only because these other fighters, they know that they don't want to give me opportunity because they know what's going to happen. And I think that's more and more apparent day by day. So, you know, like I said, if it's not with these big, if it's not with Beterbiev or Bivol, then we're trying to go after Shurda Ramirez. You know what I mean? And I want to reach greatness. And I think it's time to do that. And, you know, with the way everything is happening right now, you know, I'm just grateful for, you know, Lord Jesus Christ and God Almighty and my father, my team, and, you know, everything is going great. And I'm extremely motivated, and I'm going to accomplish everything I set out to accomplish.
Man, that looks serious. You see his eyes when he said that
Did
shit?
you see him look into the camera? I just, that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying,
oh my God.
When I'm talking about posturing, right? When I'm talking about posturing, look at what he's doing in this interview. This interview is different than a lot of other interviews that David.
Yeah, no, he's engaged in this one. Yeah, he's engaged.
He looked into the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this shit, is what he said.
He looked at me. He looked at you. He looked at the fan. Right. He looked at anybody and says, he showed you, I'm not playing no games. I have an opportunity to run with this. I'm running with this. And he's not letting nobody stop him. And something he said very interesting in the beginning that I didn't stop it. I let him continue to play it out. And he said that, what did he say? God, dog, my brain. He said something real significant. He said, oh God, bro. He was talking about the politics of the sport.
Yeah. He said sometimes things get in the way.
Right.
And
he said this specific thing right here. He said, I'm not going to negotiate. I'm not going to play. He said, I can easily sit there and let my team run it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I'm not going back to them to speak on what I'm going to do anymore. He's letting you know, like, I'm going to go back in it right quick so I don't have to put words in his mouth. So nobody says I'm not sitting here summarizing this.
The point that you're trying to make is that, go ahead. Go ahead and play.
These other fighters, they know that they don't want to give me opportunity. And if we can't get that, then I mean, just because I want to challenge myself, I want to be the best without a doubt. But, you know what I mean? Sometimes in the business, next comes next. But as for what I'm thinking of, you know, that's what else is there left? What other fights you guys want to see me fight? You know what I mean? Especially that we're here with Turki Al-Sheikh. We're getting these fights done. In my opinion, a fight with Beterbiev or Bivol is next. You know what I mean? And doesn't know, you know, if I was a different type of fighter, I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to go talk to my team and see what's the best. No, the fights I want are Beterbiev and Bivol.
Period. Do you see what I'm saying? Right there.
Yeah.
He said, if I was like other people, right?
Yeah, I think that's a stab at Canelo too. Like, I'm not going to do people dirty the way you guys have seen other champions kind of duck and maneuver. Or maybe it's even a little stab at Tank, if I'm being honest, right? I mean, he loves Tank and all, and he appreciated being a co-main event with Tank, but that might have been a stab at Tank too. Like,
no, I don't think he's stabbing at him. Personally, I don't feel like he's stabbing nobody, but I think what he's just making clear is that, and once again, I'm bringing this and I'm keeping this inside the box between Jerron Ennis. I'm speaking to Jaron Ennis's team if he's hearing, or him, or just to understand that I have so much support for that kid, right? That man. I know he's a great fighter, and I know he's going to do great things. But this is what they want to see you do, bro. They want to see you carry it like this. They understand that the politics of the sport are there. People understand that Eddie Hearn is going to move you in a different direction. People understand that you have to deal with handlers, but they also believe and understand that you can carry it the same way this dude's carrying it right now, because Turki Al-Sheikh is interested in working with you the same way he's interested in working with this guy. When they see this guy move this way, when they see this guy stop a Jesse Hart fight from happening and make it a David Morrell fight, they're like, damn, that's how we want to see our favorite fighter.
But let me ask you this question then, Clay, since we're speaking about Boots. Let's say that we trust Eddie and the process that Eddie does. Let's just go with the fact that you believe in Boots so much that he can do the type of things that Benavidez is going to show us that he can do now, right? He hasn't shown us yet, but that he can do, right? What if, and I know we hate the what ifs, but what if Jaron Boots Ennis does become the best 154-pounder? And what if, during that same amount of time, Terrence Crawford becomes the undisputed 160-pound? Wouldn't you and me and the rest of the boxing world want to see Terrence Crawford defend the undisputed 160-pound title versus Jaron Boots Ennis? And wouldn't that be a $50 million payday for someone like Jaron Boots Ennis, while someone like Terrence Crawford is making $150 million? And isn't that an all-American fight that we can actually fill an entire stadium with if Eddie does his job like he's doing, in where Boots Ennis is becoming the grassroots Philly champion? I mean, he's got Boots connected to the Eagles right now, bro. Like, Boots is becoming Philly, right? So I'm just saying, like, why is it that what Boots is doing right now necessarily wrong just because David Benavidez is showing us what Terrence Crawford has already shown us?
It's not that it's wrong or right. What I'm saying is this is what the scrutiny is.
Okay.
The game's not over with. It'll play out the way it plays out, and hindsight is always 20/20. But
Right.
if there's any confusion as to what the pressure is about, it's because people are watching people like David Benavidez do stuff like this.
Yeah.
People are watching fighters do stuff like this, so they're having a hard time wrapping their mind around Boots being quiet and allowing certain things to go. And when it doesn't make sense, they have a hard time dealing with it. They say to themselves, hold on a second, bro. If Virgil's going on record saying that he's willing to make the fight, and then you have Turki Al-Sheikh doing an interview saying that I offered this man this fight, and his team talked to me about tune-ups, and I told him, and you heard the frustration in Turki Al-Sheikh's voice when he responded. He said, tune-ups? I don't do tune-ups. So just get back at me. He got frustrated, like, damn, bro, if it's not one thing, it's something else with you. You could tell that's what he was saying, right? Now, I also believe that there's chess being played, not checkers, that Boots could also be moving strategically with Eddie Hearn and being in complete agreement with it. And this is what it could be. But I'm just letting it be known that until we see it, and to get understanding, while we're watching David Benavidez moving this way, people are looking at you and saying, why can't you move like this? In due time, we'll get the answers, right? And I'm sure it'll turn out to be something good. But I'm just putting perspective on, if anybody's wondering where the pressure's coming from, it's coming from because they're seeing stuff like this happening. And they're wondering why their fighter ain't doing the same thing. The same thing with Tank Davis. When they see Terrence Crawford up in there with Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? And getting the big fight and making history, they're wondering why their A-side fighter can't carry it the same way and make fights like that happen as well.
Right. Well, to put it in one final perspective so you can press play, let me ask you this straight question. At this point, right now, in 2025, who do you think mainstream casual fans know more about? David Benavidez or Jaron Boots Ennis?
I would say David Benavidez.
Exactly.
Sure. But that's not.
So
that's
that means
not
that Jaron.
That's not moving the needle with
point.
Turkey. It's not moving the needle with Turkey because Turkey makes it to where it doesn't matter. You know, people were using that against Terrence Crawford before, right? He's a nobody. You know what I'm saying? He just did this. It didn't matter. Turkey liked Terrence Crawford. He liked the way he fights, and he was willing to pay for those fights to happen. So Boots' popularity doesn't make a difference on what he can say and what he can't say in this particular.
No, I agree.
situation.
No,
He doesn't care.
no, I agree with you on that. But where I'm seeing it from is I'm trusting the process and what Eddie has done with all of his fighters. Named the fighter, and Eddie made him big. Kell Brook, Katie Taylor, like he has a plan, right?
Bro, we just watched David Benavidez talk about 10 years he spent with Al Heyman and Samson Leakowitz as they got him up to this point, right? He stayed quiet too. David stayed quiet and played his position and fought the fights and waited and didn't get his title shot and he went through the BS too. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is David didn't have a turkey during that time period, so he had to kind of play his position. The thing about Duran that makes it unique and significant is that he has a turkey. And David Benavidez, for all argument purposes, was not the big popular fighter either until he beat, or really, let's be honest, it was like Caleb, right? Like the Caleb Plant fight's really when people started to pick up on who he was and really like, okay, we want to see this fight happen. But very short, that was like the final fight of that year of the whole contract between the PBC and Showtime. So going into the following year, he immediately jumped into the driver's seat and said, no, I'm going to fight Boznik. We're going to go to 175. I'm not waiting on Canelo anymore. Then right after that, he jumped into it and said, okay, I'm ready to make the big fights. He had that conversation with his team, with his father, and said, we need to make the David Morrell fight happen. Canelo isn't happening. David Morrell done followed me up here to 175, and everybody's talking about this dude is like my boogeyman. He keeps chasing me around like I'm scared of him. And now you guys are going to try to throw me in the ring with Jesse Hart? Respectfully to Jesse Hart, bro, you guys have to sit down for a second. I'm going to speak up. I don't want that fight. I see that the PBC needs me the same way they need. I'm the future of the PBC. They're going to treat me right. Give me David Morrell or give me nothing else. And he made that. He bet on himself, and it worked out well. And here he is right now at this moment, continuing to move with that same energy. So Boots is going to be held underneath that same magnifying glass because they're going to look at him and they're going to say, yeah, but bro, Turkey offered you it. Turkey is there. It's not like Turkey's not there. You don't have to build up a following. You don't have to be a big pay-per-view star. You don't have to put asses in seats. Turkey doesn't give a shit. He just wants to see, he sees the stylistic value in you fighting certain fights that you say you want. So make it happen. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Like you said, chess, not checkers. Eddie's tried true, and Eddie has an opportunity to make it happen. And that's probably what is going to happen. But once again, just highlighting, if you're wondering where the pushback is coming from, it's coming from interviews like this. Interviews like this make people look at Boots and say, why can't you? Boots may be very well saying, I am, bro. You guys are just being impatient. You're not realizing we're playing chess, and I am doing that. Like, did you not see what Eddie Hearns just did with the Rocnation deal? Oh, yeah, we're doing that. We're doing all that, but we're moving our way. Right? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Shout out to Duran, just giving that almost playing devil's advocate to a degree, just to have empathy and understanding of a fan base that really loves you and wants to see you fight. That's it. Nobody hating on you.
You know what I mean? Just because I want to challenge myself, I want to be the best without a doubt. But you know what I mean? Sometimes in the business sense, things happen. You know, so sometimes things are tricky. You know what I mean? And it's a little bit more difficult than
if you can't get that fight. I don't know. What's like the ceiling then, like weight wise, you think for yourself?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna be, and I'm extremely motivated, and I'm gonna accomplish everything I set out to accomplish.
There's that look.
I think I made a mistake. I didn't know that. I'd forgotten that Bivol had dropped the belt and you got the belt, so he's not undisputed now, because for that to happen, he'd have to face you for the belt. The thing with Zordo though, that I had heard whispers, but now it's looking like it's more and more of a serious thing. If you can't get that fight, I don't know. What's like the ceiling then, like weight wise, you think for yourself?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna be stupid and say, oh, if I could get a fight with Usyk, I gotta give the respect to the weight classes. They're there for a reason. But if I could get a fight with Surdo Ramirez, I think right now is the best time to make it happen. You know, because I always knew there would be a possibility of fighting him, but now this is the best time to make it happen. Two Mexicans, you know, and fighting. Maybe we can make it in Las Vegas, in the United States after this fight. And honestly, what else does Surdo Ramirez have? I know they're trying to fight Opataya, but honestly, I'm a bigger name than Opataya right now because of what I've done in the fights I've fought. I'm not saying that I'm stronger or whatever it is. You know, I've done the work. I've fought pay-per-views. You know what I mean? I've put in the work. So I think it's solidified that me and versus Surdo Ramirez will be a bigger fighter than Surdo Ramirez versus Opataya. And then that's just in my opinion. You know, no disrespect to Opataya or nothing. He's a great fighter. But I think it makes sense on both sides for me and Surdo Ramirez.
You're the type, though, that would go and you'd fight Zurdo and then you'd fight Opataya as well. Just knowing how you are. 205, that's big. 200s. I thought it was cruiserweight, 205.
It's 200.
Come on,
Is
Marcus.
it 200?
Yeah, he
Man,
dropped
that's
the
not
ball.
God,
Okay,
dude.
you're right.
Come on, Marcus.
Okay, maybe
You're thinking
wrong
MMA,
about-
Marcus.
Cruiserweight is
Stop it.
225.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think so.
I'm not the fighter.
I think cruiserweight is 200.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Cruiserweight is
Google it,
200.
Google it.
Someone Google it. Someone go right now. No. But Turkey tweeted after the Canelo Crawford fight, asking like, "Hey, could you maybe come down to 168? Could you still make 168? Is that a possibility?"
Honestly, bro, my plan is after this fight, I want to go down to 154.
Nah.
No, bro. Honestly, I'm done with cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity though.
It's never been easier to start a
Bro,
podcast.
you're making that
than
money.
with
I hope
Riverside.
getting that money, bro.
First, go to
Bro.
Riverside.
Marcus, damn it.
Yes, cruiserweight. I want to take this opportunity to, congratulate Crawford. He put a hell of a performance. He's up there in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest fighters of all time. And, let Crawford do his thing, bro. At the end of the day, I have no interest in fighting Crawford. I have no interest in going down to 168. I mean, yeah, it's nice that it would be dope winning all titles, but I'm way past that at 168. I would found the only reason I wouldn't even go down to 168 for Canelo. And I'm just being real with you, and let Crawford do his thing. Let him have his, let him. I want to give his flowers, man, because he's a great fighter, man. When there's no other fighters coming up from 147 to beat a type of fighter like Canelo at 168, when Crawford, he's one of the greatest of all time. So, I have no interest in going down to 168. I'm not saying that I'm scared of Crawford or whatever, but Crawford's a man at 168. That's his weight class. I'm done with 168.
We know boxing is a business.
Now, that's these are one of the moments right here that made me even bigger supporter of David Benavidez, right? The ability to give respect to another fighter without it affecting his own legacy. Understanding that Terrence Crawford has done so much. How, as a fighter to another fighter, how can we not respect him?
Right.
Respect him for who he is and what he's done. And that has nothing to do with my where I'm gonna be and who I'm gonna be. And like you said, I'm not scared of him. It ain't none of that. It's not none of that nonsense, bro. It's just that man has accomplished what let him have his accomplishment, bro. My accomplishment is not going to be going back to 168, killing myself on a weight cut, being a weight bully on somebody who already came up from 147 to beat up somebody at 168. And I'm going to sit here and act like I'm the biggest thing since sliced bread because now I beat Terrence Crawford, a name on my resume. No, in reality, me and him ain't got no business being in no damn ring together, bro. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I got enough legacy in front of me right here at 175, right there at the cruiserweight division, and eventually the heavyweight division. We're moving in a certain direction. We have a game plan. Shout out to Bud Crawford. What do you think about that, what he said about Bud?
No, I mean, I think that he's doing exactly what you're talking about. He's sounding like, what I like about the rawness of the way he sounds is if we were talking to him in the couch of his living room, he would be saying the same stuff that he's saying to Marcus Villegas on this interview. He's saying that, Crawford is Crawford, and that's great. And you're pound for pound, you're in the GOAT status, you're in the Mount Rushmore. He's giving him all of his flowers. At the same time, though, I think he's also kind of like saying, I want to do that. Like, leave me alone with asking me these damn questions. Like, am I going to go back down to like he wanted to put a exclamation. You guys are going to stop talking about me fighting Canelo. You guys are going to stop talking about me fighting Crawford at 168 because I, David Benavidez, am about to be the king at 175. And my plan is to move up as high as 200 pounds to go take on Zurdo. Right. And there's a super fight building there, man. The Turkey's already talked about with Jai, because some of the shit he's saying, low key, Clay, Jai Opetaia is hearing that. And he's like, hey, maybe you think you're a big shot over there in the US, but over here in my part of the world, I'm the big name. Right. So, and honestly, Clay, I love David Benavidez, but Jai Opetaia is he's a different animal, bro. He's a different animal, man. I've seen that guy put people to sleep. Like, ooh, Ooh, Clay. Ooh, I don't know.
A big challenge for David for sure, man. If you just go up there and make that fight happen, big challenge.
Now Zurdo, I think David will smoke Zurdo because I
think he's already smoked Zurdo. I'm gonna be real with you. I think they've had sparring matches, and I think this is one of those like, yeah, Zurdo knows what I'm about to do to him, and I know what I'm about to do to him. We've done it enough times where I think they have a history where they understand the fight's gonna be exciting, but I think it's pretty much understood. Like David's like, I want that fight because I already know what I'm gonna do to that dude. I've been doing it to that dude bad.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Jake Paul's probably going to offer Zurdo more money to do a fight with him than to do a fight with David Benavidez. So.
Please, Jake Paul, make a fight happen with Zurdo. That's what we want to see. Goodness gracious, for the love of God, bro. Talk about redemption, bro. Get in the way of that fight. No hating on David Benavidez. He'll be okay, bro. Please, Jake Paul, put a bag in Zurdo Ramirez's hand and make that fight happen so we can actually see a real fight with you, bro.
Hey, man, you never know. We don't know what the
I got a feeling, though. I got a feeling, Angelo. I just got a funny feeling. I ain't getting my hopes up on that one. Hold up.
David, if they throw 100 million, 120 million to go down for either or, like, would you second?
20 million sounds good, but honestly, at the end of the day, no. no. But they won't give 120 million. I don't even think Canelo got 120 million for fighting Crawford, to be honest with you. But no, man, I'm done with 168. They could throw whatever money they want at me. And my job is not only to get the money. My job is to give myself the best chance to win and to give myself the best chance of looking good. You know what I mean? And now I'm done with 168.
What did you think of the Canelo Crawford fight?
Now,
I like that. I like that he was honest about it.
Yeah, he said no, right? Like, stop. Like, stop. Right? Like, I love the way he put it. He just ended it. He's like, yeah, 120 million, that's good money. But he's like, at the end of the day, he thought he was gonna have to come up with multiple words, but he's like, no. I mean, right?
And you know what I love about it is he still has that fire because he was honest there. He said he wants to be where he can give himself the best chance to win, but also to look good, right? And I think he's saying, I won't look good if you drain me to come down to 168. I'm not going to sell my soul the same way Tank Davis is selling his soul. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter what the money is.
Similar, but I would say I'm not going to go down there in a fight with Terrence Crawford at 168, be depleted, and mess around and have a bad night from a bad weight cut and say I did it for $120 million. That's what's similar to Tank Davis, right? It's like, I'm not going to make my legacy potentially get derailed because of 120 million, because that's not betting on myself. Betting on myself is I'll make the 120 million down the road. I'm going to make it. The legacy I'm going to have, the career I'm going to have, that money will come to me regardless. That's betting on me. That's me betting on me. If I didn't think I was going to have the career I'm going to have, then I might do something like that because that might be my only payday that I'm ever going to see in my life. But if I truly believe in who I am and what I can do and what I have ahead of me to accomplish, why would I go backwards and risk anything stupid like that to go and do something like that? Karma might bite me in my ass and Terrence F around and beat me because I have no punch resistance or no conditioning because I had a bad weight cut trying to weight bully somebody and artificially flavor my resume. You know what I'm saying? To make it look like something that's not even impressive in real time. Right. So I think that's what he was saying right there. But once again, integrity, right? Principle, legacy. This man is staying true to what traditional boxing fans love in a fighter, right?
Yeah, and if we're being honest, that's what mainstream fans want to hear from athletes, period, man. They don't want to hear somebody in the NFL say, well, you know what, man, it's all about the contract. They want to hear an athlete say, I'd like to go win a Super Bowl for my team. I'd like to win a Super Bowl for my city. I'd love to give my people, the fans, like David Benavidez is saying what I don't want to make it seem like we're us, the boxing aficionados, are the only ones that like hearing the shit. I think if this was a regular ass interview on a regular TV with mainstream people watching it, they'd probably go, well, I don't know who David Benavidez is, but I kind of like him now. He's being very honest. So
that right talk, bro, because as a boxing fan and real boxing fans know as they're listening to this, As they're listening to this, they're if they've never heard it before, they're liking what they hear, right? So they're going,
Right.
damn, bro. I'm I'm a casual, but I'm liking this.
Right.
That the way he's talking is making me excited to see what he does with his future. It's making me want to tap in to his career and his journey. It's making me want to be present because he's trying to accomplish hard things. He's trying to accomplish things that only the greats will, and I want to see if he can do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, shout out to CJ for the $5. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
that's
thank you. Artificially flavor my resume. Let's go, champ. Yeah, no doubt, bro. That's what there's people who still stand on that, who understand that I can go down to 168 and potentially weight bully and beat Terrence Crawford because I'm just bigger than him and I could take advantage of certain things, and maybe I could beat him. But how much respect am I really going to get for doing that? Everybody knowing that I'm 170. I was getting weight bully accusations when I was at 168, making weight. For me to come back from 175 to come down to 168 to fight a 147 pounder who went up to 168.
Right.
What kind of victory is there for me there? Even if I win, really? If I'm serious about all this shit, I'm sitting here talking all this shit about me being searching for greatness and challenging myself, and I go down there, I'm gonna look like a hypocrite, bro. And not everything got a price on it. Some things have no price on it. Some things 120 million you can't buy. Not a lot, but some things 120 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to CJ Rich, man, with the $5, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Let's continue, man.
Were you surprised?
I think I did an interview saying that I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford wins, or I wouldn't be surprised if you know what I mean, whatever. I think Crawford took it way more serious than Canelo, which is kind of weird because the amount of money that Canelo was making. And I know all these people say, "Oh, yeah, talking shit about Canelo." I'm not talking shit about him. He just didn't look like he really prepared 100%. He's throwing 10 punches around, or I think it was his ego is that big that he thought that, oh, I'm just gonna walk through him, catch him with a good shot, and it's gonna be done. As you can see, Crawford is a different type of fighter. Not only does he have the boxing IQ, he has that dog in him. He was in there. He was brawling with Canelo like in the 8th, 9th, getting the best out of him. Boxing, he's epitome of a great boxer. Brawling when he needs to brawl, boxing when he needs to box, and using his IQ. He looked amazing. Honestly, he looked amazing. Like I said, you got to give credit to where credit's due. Crawford went in there, he did his job, and he won.
Can you see?
I love it. I love that he's
kind of wanting that for himself. Do you see him kind of like he's close to me? Like, honestly,
that's what I want. That's what I want. And in fact, I'll tell you what I love about it, because you can see it. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his face. Yeah. He's basically saying, me, David Benavidez, I respect Crawford so much for what he just showed us that's my goal.
Right.
I want people to respect me the way I respect him.
For me, he done shifted the game for me.
Yes, I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
Y'all, listen, right, Angelo? Before the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, I told everybody why it was important for Terrence to win this fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said that, this is significant. If Terrence wins this fight, I said, what? He's going to shift the culture.
Yep.
He's going to show possibility. He's going to inspire another generation of fighters behind him that are going to go,
yep.
Wow.
And here's the guy who's 10 years younger.
100%. And you're going to have fighters who are going to say, there's fighters out there, believe it or not, I don't know how you feel about it, Angelo, who forgot about this.
Yeah.
They forgot.
Yep.
They got so caught up in the business and the matchmaking and the moving. Yep. They forgot about this. And when they saw Terrence do it, what he did, there was a little kid in there that woke back up and said,
"Yep,
I remember when that's what inspired me to be a boxer."
Yeah.
Was to do something like that. 70,000 plus people in an arena screaming my name.
Yep.
Undisputed.
Yep.
Ring Magazine champion.
Yep.
Defying the odds. Man, bro, I forgot that's why I was here. And a lot of fighters shifted their whole entire thought process, leveled up, and got even more motivated. Yay or nay? What do you say to that, Angelo?
Yeah, no, I mean, and we talked about that so much on the show, but absolutely, man. I mean, I was there, bro. I was one of those people yelling USA and Omaha or Nebraska, and cheering for Terrence Crawford. What is it? 90% of the people, 85% of the people there were I mean, I didn't get in a fight or nothing, but you know what I'm saying, right? They were all going against Crawford. That for someone who's 28, like David Benavidez, or 28 now, like Shakur Stevenson, who also gave that speech during the parade about how he taught me integrity. Terrence Crawford taught me integrity, right? You see, like, don't, and we love this guy, Keyshawn Davis. Don't be surprised if Keyshawn comes back sooner than we thought, because
I believe it. I'm believing in him.
Yeah, Crawford just was like, like, that's inspiring to be around that. And it's gonna sound like I'm saying this because I'm Filipino, but I'm just keeping it real, Clay. There was a moment in time when Manny Pacquiao was that for everyone else. There was a moment in time where there were so many people going, I want to do what Manny's doing. Oh my God, I can't believe Manny just did that. Manny just fought Margarito. Wow. Well, shit, if Manny can do it, then maybe I can. And there's and not only just, I'm not just talking about someone like David Benavidez, the younger generation of boxers trying to make it up. I'm talking about Manny Pacquiao inspired an entire freaking nationality of Filipinos globally around the world, dude, and inspired them to be better in their music, in their cooking, in their art form, in everything that they do. Manny Pacquiao gave people that pride. That's what Terrence Crawford just did, man. Terrence Crawford just made a whole bunch of millions of people around. I mean, I sent you the pictures of him in Japan, bro. We got to see Samurai Crawford. Did you see those pictures I sent you? Crawford with the samurai sword and dressed up like a shogun, bro. It was so dope. And then just today, Terrence Crawford was in one of the Japanese boxing gyms, and Tenshin Nasukawa was like all giddy when he got to meet Crawford, bro. So yeah, man, Crawford is not just inspiring these boxers. Crawford's inspiring a whole lot of. There's gonna be a bunch of kids doing a PAL program right now, Police Athletic League program somewhere in any part of the country, and they're thinking about being Terrence Crawford. So yeah, no, Terrence Crawford was a game changer, bro. Game changer, and you could hear it in David Benavidez's voice.
Yeah. He's inspired. And he's like, I don't even want to fight this dude, bro. I want that legacy that I watch happen to stay intact. I don't even want to play with it.
Right. 3-time undisputed. You know what I mean? So that's I think there's a lot to be learned. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in that fight. You know what I mean? If you really want to make something come true and you really believe it, you can make it come true. And then the other lesson is, don't let your ego get the best out of you. And don't think that you don't have to prepare because you're a bigger fighter. You know what I mean? That shit will bite you in the ass.
Imagine bringing your side project to life.
Damn it, Marcus.
Just by thinking about it.
Yeah. He getting his money, bro. Don't even be mad at him.
Because of the history between, not being able to get the Canelo fight, was there a part of you that was like happy that he lost it all because of, pretty much 2 years you being mandatory and not getting that shot?
No, if I'm being honest with you, bro, I'm not happy that he lost. I kind of feel like that could have been me. That was my moment. You know, man. If I would have gone in there, I know I would have beat him. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be a hater, but that's kind of how I feel. But you know what I mean? I give all the flowers to Crawford. You know what I mean?
That should have been me in there. That should have been my.
If I would have got that fight, I would have been me. I would have been the one getting my hand raised. But like I said, it didn't happen, and that's why it didn't happen, because Canelo knows that would have happened.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that this kind of marks like the Canelo in decline, given what happened. And I know for the longest time you're confident that you were the guy to be able to beat Canelo. Do you feel that even at this point, like a fight with Canelo, does it even interest you at all, or does it even still happen potentially?
Yeah, it definitely still interests me. I feel like honestly, I'm in such good position right now that it could happen at 175 because I don't think Canelo's going to retire. You know, I think the type of person that Canelo is, he's going to be, oh, well, I didn't prepare for that fight, but now I'm prepared, this and that. You know, there's another storyline behind that because of the way he lost. He didn't go in there and get just beat up and destroyed the whole fight. It just didn't look like he prepared at all. And the fighter that was prepared was Crawford. So, there could still be a big storyline 175. Like I said, he could say, oh, well, now I'm motivated. Now I have a reason to train, now this and that. And it'll be a title fight for 175. So, everything is still possible right now. And Canelo, what is he, like 35?
Yep.
33, yeah. And then imagine Crawford was 38.
No, he's 35.
Yeah, he's
So,
35.
I mean,
Marcus Vias was kind of.
I don't,
Man, Marcus, you got to do your research, bro.
Yeah, he was a little off.
There might be a way to make that fight happen. So, like I said, I'm not really worried about that. I'm just thinking about the fighters I got to take out. And imagine, I go in there and I do everything I say I'm going to do. I go in there, beat Yard. Then I go fight Bivol, or I go fight Better Beef, and I beat those two fighters. The fight with Canelo is 100 times bigger than it was back then.
I told everybody that shit a long time ago, bro. I said it. Everybody wants him to go back to 168. I'm like, nah, bro. Become undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world, bro. Become undisputed. And I'm telling you that Canelo Alvarez and I think Canelo would take that fight. I know people are gonna be like, nah, he takes it. A chance to become undisputed, the money that's gonna be on that table to become undisputed in the second weight class.
Nah,
it's big.
I can't see it, bro. I mean, again, this is me being biased because I was there live. He got his ass beat so hard against Crawford that, in all honesty, I don't know how Canelo will mentally, because he got his ass beat, bro. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real, all right? Like it's different when you're Canelo and you're moving up to fight Bivol for greatness, right? After knocking out Kovalev, even though Kovalev was like 180 years old, whatever, right? He moves up, okay, and then he lost to Bivol. I wouldn't say that mentally he took a beating in that fight, because mentally to him, he was like, all right, my game plan didn't really work, but I don't really feel like Bivol hurt me that bad or whatever, right? Goes back down to 68, does this thing. In this Crawford fight, man, for almost a year, he had to hear how Canelo's going to beat up Crawford. How, I'm talking about Canelo heard all of this. Canelo heard he was bigger. Canelo heard he was stronger. Canelo heard all the same stuff that you and I heard and Ray heard when we were talking up how Crawford's going to beat his ass. Well, bro, mentally speaking, when he was shaking his head like this, when Crawford would hit him, and he'd be like, man, it almost looked like when Allen Iverson did a crossover on your ass, and you were like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with it, right? So can Canelo come back and do a fight? Sure. Can Canelo come back and do a fight against somebody like Chris Eubanks and beat the hell out of him? Absolutely. Absolutely. Chris Eubanks won't even be a contest. Canelo will destroy him. But to fight someone like David Benavidez, bro, you're going to try to sell Canelo at 36 probably? Hey, man, do you want to take on the Mexican? Nah. He said no before.
If it doesn't happen, it's okay. David Benavidez, the thing about it, the bigger picture for me is, David, stop derailing your career and your journey for Canelo Alvarez. If Canelo Alvarez wants to come and join you somewhere where you're at already, and he wants to come and test it, let him come test it.
Right.
The fight is even bigger at 175 as an undisputed champion, you being the A side, which is probably the only way you could ever get a fight, if there was going to be a fight between you and Canelo, would be in a situation like that, to where Canelo has a real big prize, not only money, but also legacy in the belts. But if it doesn't happen, it's not going to happen. It's okay. But don't go back to 168. Don't derail. Don't focus on him. You have a whole entire leg. And I'm telling you, David Benavidez already has a moral victory on Canelo Alvarez. He just hasn't beat him in the ring. He's already, he's already beaten Canelo. Everybody, the history books will always read accurately that Canelo Alvarez ducked David Benavidez. It will always speak on it that way, and everybody will know that. Everybody will know it. People can say whatever they want to say. They're going to remember it accordingly. They're going to say that man did not, especially him going on saying that all he brings to me is 25 pounds on the night of the fight. That was super duck talk.
Yeah.
Super duck sauce right there. No question about it. No question.
And with David Benavidez being with Turkey now, the same way Crawford's with Turkey in some ways. If David does what he, I mean, again, what I don't want to make it seem like we're crowning David right now, because I'm gonna be honest with you, Clay. For David Benavidez at 28 to dethrone a Bivol and a Beterbiev right now, that's a tall task, man. If he does that shit, I might have to put him at pound for pound number 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, you beat the number 4 and the number 5 guy. You beat those two. Ooh, man. And you were pound for pound number, what is he right now? Number 9? You were pound for pound number 9 and you beat the number 4 and the number 5?
For sure, I'm about to say top 5 was where I would have put him, like, definitely, because I'm gonna have a hard time with Terrence, Monster, Usyk.
I'm just saying, bro. I haven't seen Usyk or Monster in a way beat 2 pound for pound guys. If Benavidez does that shit, he beats 2 of them. Other than Crawford,
definitely top 5. Definitely top 5. I'll say that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything else, definitely top 5 for sure. The number 4, number 5 spot is his for sure. One of those is his spot. Maybe even number 4, to be honest with you. Like number 4 for sure, probably.
For sure, right?
Yeah,
number 4 for sure.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Very true. You saying that you feel like he didn't prepare at all. Like, do you guys, like, as fighters, when you have an opponent, like, that's not like the biggest name, like, does that run through your mind?
The biggest name though. Crawford is a big. I think it's just ego. It's just ego that he didn't think. I mean, he brought in Boots.
It would be like maybe like easier than what it turned out to be.
I think that I don't know what he thought. You know what I mean? To be honest, but when you see a fighter, what did he throw the whole fight? Like 200 punches? Bro, that's how you could tell that you don't go. I mean, okay, say you're going there trying to get, you're trying to get, what's the word say? You're trying to get ready. You're trying to get your groove. If that doesn't work in the first 5 rounds, then you got to push it the next fucking 6 rounds, 6, 7 rounds.
Cruise control.
Yeah, exactly. And it just looks like that's how Canelo's been fighting these past fights. Even with William Skull, if things don't go his way, then he just kind of lets the fight go. Like, it doesn't really look like he really wants to go and get it. Okay, and then let's put it like this. When he fought Caleb Plant, he was digging because Caleb Plant was kind of winning the first 6 rounds, and then he started to push. So, I mean, that's what I feel like, what a Canelo that's ready looks like, you know what I mean? And if you're the top fighter in the world, bro, how are you only throwing 200, 300 shots? A 12-round fight, they don't make sense. So is this, I don't know anything about their camp, and I really don't care about anything they're doing over there, but that's what it looks like to me. When the punch output drastically goes down, that's how you could tell a fighter's not putting everything into it.
Or maybe they might have seen better days. I know a lot of people have suggested that about Canelo. Like, maybe he's not the fighter he was like 2-3 years ago.
I mean, you can't really say nothing like that, bro, because if you put age into it, then what's the excuse? Crawford's 38. He didn't fight in 2 years. So that's no excuse. When somebody wants to go get it, they'll go get it. So it's not like, oh, you know what I mean? I guess you could say that, you know what I mean? But I don't know, bro. Like, it's not my problem. That's just not my problem.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy for Crawford to do something like that. Like go up 2 weight classes.
We always knew Crawford was a great fighter, and that's how he reaches. He's always going to be he's made in the history books. He's going to be the greatest of all time because he's never lost that hunger, and he's always wanted to prove himself. So, when a fighter wants to prove himself, he'll prove himself.
You've seen a lot of people in the gym, David, and you've while you were at the Wild Card, you've seen a lot of legends as well. I'm just, and this is kind of like a hot topic. I'm just kind of curious, like pound for pound, like skill for skill, like how does Terrence match with Floyd in your opinion?
I mean, they're both great fighters. They're just different fighters in their own way. They're great. I can't say one is better than the other one. They're both great fighters. I think, honestly,
keep it real,
if you
David.
go to see what has been accomplished, And I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this too. But honestly, there could be the way where you put Crawford over Mayweather.
Affiliate marketing 101.
Dude,
damn it.
I'm actually about to stop at this point so we can carry the conversation a little past it, because I think we hit the most important points in the conversation, in the interview. It was a great interview. You guys should go catch the rest of it. I was like halfway through the interview there. Crawford's accomplishment a couple of weeks ago is historical, bro. It's reverbing through the whole entire boxing space in such a crazy way. Even you talking about what he's doing, what's happening in Japan, and you're watching David Benavidez speak on it. You're watching Bozy Ennis speak on it. You know, you have to acknowledge what happened, and it put perspective on. I'm telling you, it even added to the Gervonta Tank Davis conversation. His fan base felt the pressure even more on the back end of the way that event went. Just like, damn, bro, it's just something about legacy that is undeniable, bro. People try to make light of it and they try to act like it doesn't matter or it's not a big deal. And it's not. What's legacy? What's legacy? Legacy is what Terrence Crawford did.
Yep.
Canelo Alvarez, bro. That's what legacy is, man. Straight up.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, and you know, I've said this on your show before, and it's tough for people to hear this now because it does sound like you and I are being biased. But as a historian of boxing, right? Like when you talk to them, they'll always say, well, I got to put Roberto Duran up there. I got to put Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran's definitely in the top 5, probably the top 3, probably the greatest 135, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what Terrence Crawford did that Roberto Duran didn't do? Roberto Duran, when he moved up, did lose. Crawford hasn't lost.
Right.
So, you know, if you're going to, again, it sounds unpopular as hell. And people are going to say, man, Angelo, he just loves Crawford so much. Like, you know, when people were giving me shit about it, but I'm just saying facts are facts. And if Crawford has moved up the same way Roberto Duran moved up, but Crawford never lost, and if he wins 162 as undisputed, bro, I mean, Duran did that too. He moved up, he moved down, but Duran lost, baby. Crawford never lost. I'm just saying.
He's my GOAT. You know what I'm saying? You ask me who this era, like, hands down, Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud to say that. You know what I mean? That he moved the needle like that. The boxing needed it, man. He moved the needle in boxing's most needy time. You know what I'm saying? Boxing needed that kind of performance.
An American hero.
American boxing needed what Terrence did. He came right on time and he delivered. And it was years and years of hard work, years of dedication, years of living the lifestyle of being a committed boxer. Eating right, not drinking, not doing drugs, getting his body right, conditioning, sleeping on point, being a role model for other fighters behind him for it to culminate to that moment to make it to where A, he can get an opportunity at it, but probably most importantly, B, be able to execute. You know what I'm saying? When it was all said.
He was a samurai, bro, just like the pictures I sent you. Yeah. Terrence Crawford has been the samurai of boxing, and he finally got to his duel. Right, and now he's a shogun, baby. Terrence Crawford is the shogun. So y'all can all bow down.
They get upset. They don't like to hear about it, but it's truly like that. You know, it's truly like that. So yeah. That being said, though, so David Benavidez speaks for himself, man. He speaks for himself, and that's what we want to see fighters do. Jaron Ennis, man. I hope everything works out the way it looks like. I'm be honest with you, I'm very optimistic. I like what Eddie Hearns doing. I think you have the right team, the right people around you. So I'm this fight this weekend is a big deal. People act like people don't want it to be because he's like, who is this guy?
Oh, it's a big deal. He's selling out the place in Philly. Yeah.
And he can lose.
Right. It's a big deal.
And he can lose. This dude Lima is very hungry. He's the one kind of loss you can have. Because he's somebody that came out of nowhere that nobody knows who he is, and he messed around and derail you, bro. This is horrible. So you're gambling. You're gambling with the career.
And the other thing too that again I hate when when people in general don't give the credit that a fighter deserves. This is the first time we're seeing Joanne Butsinas go to 154.
Right.
He's fighting one of the top 10 154 according to BoxRec. And if you guys love BoxRec, that's where Lima is. He's number 10. So like it, hate it, whatever. If Boots beats this dude the same way he beat Stan Jonas, I'm all in on the Boots. I mean, I've been in on Boots being a superstar, but I'm telling you, bro, Virgil Ortiz, he can't touch Enos, bro. It's not, to me, it's just gonna look like what I already know. If we do a show on Boots Enos versus Virgil Ortiz, all I'm gonna tell you is the same shit I told you that Crawford's gonna do to Canelo. They're not in the same level, man. They're not. All right. Boacek beat Virgil Ortiz. Like it, don't like it, whatever. Boacek got his ass beat by Brandon Adams. So what are we saying now? Should we go see Virgil Ortiz versus Brandon Adams? I don't even know if Virgil Ortiz is going to beat Erickson Lubin, bro. And you're talking to me? You're talking to me about Boots versus Virgil Ortiz? You're telling me that? Come on, baby. Stop it. Stop it, Clay. Stop.
Nah, bro, you can't. It's not about, bro. It's about the shit talking. It's about the buildup. It's these guys have history, bro. It's not. It's standing on business. It's standing on business, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all about standing on business, bro. Oh, this is back here. I'm like, where the hell that thing out there? It's about standing on business, bro. I don't know, bro. I'll be honest with you. I think Virgil's gonna cut the corner on him anyway. I don't think Virgil's trying to make that fight anymore. I think Virgil.
Why would Virgil do it? Why would Virgil do it?
Yeah.
You tell me, right? You're Golden Boy Promotions, and you have Virgil Ortiz.
No, that's
would you like to see Virgil get his ass kicked?
That's more so what the question has to be. Not why would Virgil do it. The question is why would Oscar do it?
Exactly.
Why would Golden Boy do it? Right.
So you tell me, right? Wouldn't Golden Boy rather fork up the money to or wait out whatever the hell Sebastian Fundora is going to do next? Because eventually the WBC is going to have to order Virgil Ortiz versus Sebastian Fundora. I don't know whenever Mauricio is going to decide to do that shit, but he's going to have to do it sooner rather than later. And what if Turkey wants to pay for that fight? Let's find that out. And let me ask you Turkey, sir.
I don't know what I don't know about what Turkey's going to do with Golden Boy anymore. I think he might be. I have a feeling Turkey and Golden Boy on at odds a little bit. I don't know. I just got a feeling that Oscar's kind of cheer for you. Oscar's kind of like delivered a bit of a Teofimo Lopez energy to Turkey, where he's not liking the way Oscar's been, downplaying a lot, doing a lot of like back talk, like backstabbing. You know what I'm saying? Like backbiting.
Right.
Like, I'm doing something. I've done so much for you. Why would you tear down my event or my idea or tear down the fight? Like, he was against the Terrence Crawford Canelo Alvarez fight, trying to make it sound like it wasn't worth shit. It's like, yo, bro, I sat there and blessed you, bro. Gave you a whole entire show. Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Mexico, Riyadh,
Latin night, Latino night,
Latino night, and all that. And I mean, even if you don't agree with it, just shut up. Why say anything negative off the strength of what I've done for you? Why say anything negative? You call yourself keeping it real? Fine, I'm gonna keep it real. Maybe my keep it real might look like I'll just wait for your company to just dry out as you're not able to compete with me, putting in no events, and all your fighters have to come to me to get these opportunities.
And well, I'll tell you what's tough about that, man, is that Golden Boy does do business with MVP, and like it or not, MVP's still a brand and a promotional group that does put up fights, especially here in the U.S., right? And they have a stable, and Golden Boy has a stable. So I don't think Oscar's going anywhere. And that's what I was trying to explain to you, is that
no, he's not going nowhere. But he has to give his fighters like Virgil, the special ones, Floyd Schofield, he has to give them an opportunity at legacy. If he doesn't, we'll see if they're just willing to allow their whole legacy to go away, because their legacy is going to be involved with fighting the Abdullah Masons, fighting the John Boots Ennis's, fighting these other fighters who are on the other side of the contract. So you want to keep it on your side of the street and play that game, you can play that game. You can try to be greedy about it, and we'll see how it ends up turning out for you. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be here for the long run. He's Oscar Warrior, bro. Golden Boy Promotions has got roots dug deep into this game. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at somebody like Turkey Al-Sheikh, who's partnering with 3/4 of the game around you, like everything around you, he's partnering with. That's an uphill battle. It looks like to me. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. But boxing still has to answer to us, has to answer to you, Clay, has to answer to me. And at the end of the day, Turkey's not going to change that. In fact, Turkey embraces it and he understands it, that we, the people, speak. We're the ones that are telling you these are the fights we want to see. That's why we love what Turkey's doing so much. So I say that to say that Floyd Schofield, let's say, he does beat Jojo Diaz. I think they're talking about that becoming an interim championship now because of Gervonta Davis' situation. So then right away, what stops Floyd Schofield from being the email WBA 135 champ at a certain point?
I think that's what he's aiming for.
Yeah. Right? And now Oscar's got that. So it's the same thing. And I say that to say about the Virgil Ortiz. Dude, Virgil Ortiz is the interim champion. You can only be the interim WBC champion for so long until Sebastian Fundora has to fight you. So it's Sebastian Fundura's turn now. It's like it's shit or get off the pot time for PBC. It's shit or get off the pot time for Fundura's team, right? So that's what I mean. Personally, it was a bad move to let the WBO go. He had the unified titles. He could have just rode it out and been like, well, everybody got to go through me. But instead, they want to play this game. And again, shout out to you, Sebastian Fundura, bro. That's awesome. You beat Tim Tszyu twice. Okay, great. Good for you. Us, Claymore Rain and me, are all asking you, Sebastian Fundura, when you going to fight Virgil Ortiz? Because he's your mandatory, bro. Why do we have to see Virgil Ortiz fight Lubin? You scared, man? What's going on, right? I'm speaking again as a fan.
His team is probably more responsible for it, but I'll tell you right now, Virgil can beat. Sebastian can beat Virgil.
Exactly. So, and you're trying to tell me the Boots isn't gonna put that man, boy. I mean,
I'm not saying that. I think Boots wins that fight, but that doesn't mean the fight doesn't need to happen.
Okay, I hear you. Because I was gonna say, man, once Boots puts buckle the ass on Lima this Saturday, I'm gonna be talking about how Boots is gonna beat everybody at 154, bro. There ain't nobody.
He's going to talk about what he's gonna do, but he needs to do it. That's
true.
I mean, that's important. True. That's an important part of it, right? Like, and it's because we watched, with a certain fighter, we watched him beat up a lot of guys in the fantasy fight on the odd test. We've seen him beat up a lot of guys, but we ain't never seen him do it in real time. So we're suffering because of that, right? Well, we're not suffering. His fans are suffering right now.
Yeah, his fans are suffering.
Not give those fights. So Boots, you gotta make those fights happen, man. Eddie, you gotta make make those fights happen. You know what I mean? I'm also interested in what Eddie does with Raymond Savage Ford, bro. You got his time. Get him his opportunity, bro. You sat there and let Nunes go do his thing. Now you walk in the ring and you're trying to put Nunes in there with Navarrete. I mean, that's adorable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, Navarrete is the top ranked fighter last time I checked. Well, what about Raymond?
True. Well, we'll see, man. I mean, I know that that Eddie won't turn his back on Ray Ford, so maybe that's the plan. Maybe his plan is when Nunes beats Navarrete, now Ray Ford could just jump it and get 2 belts in one fight. Maybe. Never know.
That works out. Hopefully
you never know.
Either way, I'm sure Ray Ford saw that and was like,
"What the fuck?
Did this dude just invite Navarrete into the ring, bro? And face them
what are you doing, Eddie? I'm sure Eddie's explaining it to him,
bro. And I just had to go fight Abraham Nova, bro.
Right?
Nah, bro. Right. When Eddie gets back stateside, we need to talk, bro. Somebody need to holler at me and let me know what's going on here because I could have sworn that was supposed to be me.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying? Like you just face these guys off in the damn ring. That's diabolical.
Hey, you know what? One thing, before we do leave, it's fight week, and we've been talking a lot about Boots' fight week. Khalil Coe's fight got canceled.
It got canceled.
It got canceled, right? Still a good card. You guys should still definitely go to that. And by the way, man, if you haven't bought your tickets yet, $25 is the cheapest seats there, bro. That's easy money prices, man. That's That's bingo night prices. Guys, stop being cheap. Go to the fight. But David Allen, the heavyweight, the guy who just knocked out Johnny Fisher, he's also fighting, bro, this Saturday. Hella early in the morning.
Makhmudov, right? The
Makhmudov. Yes. Our last Makhmudov. But heavyweight fight, bro. Yeah. No, this will be fun to watch. That's happening on DAZN again for free. It's early in the morning. I know, guys. I know. But that's the way they do it. It's got to be in the UK time. So you got to be like me and they just get up early. But the undercard's pretty good, man. Josh Padley's coming back against Reese Pilati. Yeah, that's a good fight, right? So
I like watching Josh Padley fight. I think he's a good fighter, bro.
I think so too. Hey, man, Shakur gave him hella credit. So
yeah,
I got
when he fought against Mark Chamberlain, I thought that was a great fight.
Yeah,
Mark Chamberlain. I think he's a good fighter.
Yeah. From Manchester, Junaid Boston's fighting Bilal Fawaz, and Fawaz, the last time I saw him on DAZN, he looked. I believe that's a rematch. In fact, that is a rematch. When I watched it, because a lot of people felt Fawaz really won. Boston was saying, "No, I really won." So this is their rematch. So that's the co-main event. Ibrahim Suleiman is fighting James Chireji. That's a good. Eddie Hearn knows how to put together good fights, dude. So I definitely think there's this one kid when you watch it, Clay. Because for you it's easier because you're East Coast time. Hamza Udin, he's only 5-0, but he's got a really good amateur background. He's fighting a dude who's 22 wins with 6 losses. And I know I'm asking you to watch a flyweight, bro. I get it. He's 112 pounds, but the dude's good, man. The dude is good. He'll be worth you watching him. He should be in the opener on that fight. But yeah, that's a good card. And then let me see. I want to make sure that we run down the Enos versus Lima.
You got Tamir. I want to say Tamir Smalls is on that card as
well. Oh yeah, you're right. Tamir Smalls is on
nice,
that card.
Bro.
Tamir is nice.
He's a beast.
Let's see.
You know who I haven't seen fight, and I know Zay Quinn is on this card too as well.
Yeah, Zay Quinn Moses is on the card. You're talking about Jones, Omari Jones.
I'm shocked he wasn't on this card. Is he on this card?
I'm surprised too. Yeah, I don't know. No, he's not. And he's normally on these type of cards. So, I don't know. I don't know if there's a big master plan for him now.
They're gonna make my mind kind of go crazy a little bit because I'm kind of thinking like I just kind of feel like, where does he fight at 147?
So in the Olympics, he was in the same class as Marco Verde, who we saw on the Netflix card. He was the first fight on the YouTube portion of Canelo Crawford, right? He's the silver medalist. And then why am I forgetting his name? Nishant Dev. He's the 154 Indian Oscar De La Hoya. He's the Indian Golden Boy.
Yep.
Right. So he fought Omari Jones, and Omari Jones and him kind of got a thing against each other. Now, Eddie's trying to have Omari Jones be more a 147 guy because he's kind of a
really
tweener.
A 154 guy. He's really
but he's kind of small for 154, but he's kind of big for 147. So he's in the between stage. That's why he keeps fighting.
And he's young. How old is he? Like 20 years old, right?
Yeah, he's 21. Yeah, he's super young, man.
He might have had a growth spurt, bro. Eddie might be trying to figure out what to do with him, man.
Yeah, but no, he's a superstar. I love Omari Jones. He's
out
great.
of Orlando, right? I think he's out of Orlando, Florida.
Yes, out of Orlando, Florida. He's our bronze medalist from the Paris Olympics. Karate background too. Shout out to my man. I like that. But yeah, Omari Jones, guys. Omari Jones. Definitely watch him. Co-main event of Joran Boots Enos versus Uisma Lima now is the heavyweights. It's Alexis Burrier, 12-0 from Canada. You've seen him fight before, Clay. He's good.
Right. And he's against the Italian dude, right?
Yeah, he's fighting the Italian guy, Guido Vianello, who had a hell of a fight with F.A. Ijagwa. So that's a good co-main event. That'll be a good fight. That's a 10-round heavyweight fight for the WBC Continental Americas heavyweight title. And then you're right, Tamir Smalls, 15-0. He's fighting Jose Roman. That's a good fight. 14
Yeah,
and
that's the
1.
guy who derailed Jalil.
Yes, sir. That's a good fight. And then they got the kid from Manchester, Giorgio Visioli, at 130 pounds, 8-0, versus the American James Wilkins, 13-3. This is a good card. Then Zaquin Moses fighting the dude who's 6-4. Justin Palmieri's on the card. Harley Medeiros, 8-0. He's on the card.
Yep.
And
There's
Dennis Thompson.
kid on that card too.
Dennis Thompson's fighting Sean Diaz on that card.
Yes,
At 122.
Thompson. He's like 5-0, right? Something like that, like 5-0.
Yeah, Dennis Thompson's 7-0. Sean Diaz is 9-0. So someone's O's got to go.
Then it's gonna win that fight.
Yeah. So that's a good card. That's a good card. I'm sure you're gonna be doing your magic and calling the fights on Saturday, right? So you guys should pay attention to Clay and his fight commentary. Now let me ask you this: are you going to be a trooper and try to do the whole day, do the David Allen, David Allen and Makhmudov, and then go right into Omari Jones's card?
I probably will.
Hey man, shout out to you if you can hang on to 10 hours of your.
I've done it before. I've gone all the way in before the whole entire day. Doing covering boxing all day long. It's
damn,
not
dude, your voice, bro, your voice.
You not do it, especially if I get excited, it gets hard. I get hoarse, but we have a good time, man. It is what it is. It's about that time, man. We're running on a 3.5 hour mark, man. I didn't get a chance to go ahead and pull the 2 hour goal because I wanted to be able to get those tips, but
no, we had to bring Just Do in. So shout out to you.
Yeah, we had Just Do over here. So.
Not nice to hear that conversation from the past. Collecting receipts.
Listen, man, he hosted, and I'll tell you offline. I won't talk about it here, crazy. But I got into it. You know what I mean? It was bad out here, bro, because I was just so new to the space and just being true to my love for boxing.
Right. They were attacking you though, man.
Yeah,
they always attack the truth, bro. The truth always gets attacked.
But I mean, I wasn't out there like folding or nothing. I was holding it down, but I ruffled a lot of feathers because I think a lot of people wanted me to do what they want Just to do. They wanted me to speak, in a certain way, and they try to push back at it. And I had to stand alone for a long time. You know what I mean, with my speculation and everything like that. But 8 to 9 out of 10 of the things I talked about has come to fruition. And and it's aged well. I've aged very well in the space with how I've called it.
I can tell you this, Clay. It's lonely at the top, baby, and you're right there. You're at the top.
I feel like it. I feel it's lonely. Well, now I got Just Do coming to join me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. I like that.
He has no choice, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he has a choice, but bro.
No. Well, I've always told you. Yeah, I've always said to you
your honesty. They're not going to
I've always said to you, and this is a differentiator as to why I was pulled into your space in the ATP combat, is because whether you like it or hate it, you're going to speak the truth of things and you're going to give a perspective of things, right? Which is kind of what I do. Like I'm not going to sit there and bend the knee to Tank Davis because you guys somehow believed all those knockouts are real, right? Like I get it. He knocked out some people. But when you have Max Kellerman, one of the most seasoned Hall of Fame veteran commentators, saying the words, I don't put him in my Hall of Fame. Well, what does that tell you? Right? And we were saying that 3 months ago, Clay, when it wasn't popular for us to say it. We were saying it.
I was saying it 2 years ago on the platform to keep it 100. But what I was saying 2 years ago was I told everybody this. His Hall of Fame fights are ahead of him, not behind him. His Hall of Fame career is ahead of him. I'm excited for the Hall of Fame career he's going to have, not for the Hall of Fame career you think he's had. He hasn't had one, but I'm optimistic he will have one because he will make these fights, and these fights right here will be career defining and era defining, and they will speak about him. But he's not having the fights.
Well, they're speaking about him though, so you were wrong about that.
Yeah, look, I was being positive and trying to be 100 about the path that this man had to do that. And I thought he could do it. I still think he can do it if he decided to just dial in and do it. I think he can do it. I don't think he wins all those fights. I don't think he beats Shakur. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he
But
beats
you
Shakur.
heard David Benavidez say it today in that interview that you shared with everyone, which is if a fighter really wants to manifest it, it will happen. And I'm sorry, Tank Davis does not want to manifest that he's the best in the world.
Period.
Shakur Stevenson does, though. So, Shakur Stevenson, baby, for all you people who were hating on me when I kept saying Shakur Stevenson's the best, that's coming up. How do you like me now?
Yeah. They're going to continue to hate, bro. But that's cool. We're going to give him a lot more to hate on as we continue to build content and talk on this boxing space. Don't worry, guys. We're going to give y'all plenty to keep on hating on. So you just stand right by, bro. We'll keep you fed. The buffet will always be open for the hate special. You know what I'm saying? Come
yes,
get as
sir.
much as you want. Feed you till you can't eat no more, Seymour. No problem.
We're gonna hear it about Boots here pretty soon. Watch.
Yeah.
We're gonna hear it about Boots pretty soon. But hey, man, shout out to you. Shout out to Clay, guys. Thanks to the chat for sticking it out. Shout out to Clay because over there, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 a.m, man.
It's definitely 2
a.m.
It's definitely 2 a.m. I said I was going to do a night show. I'm going to do one. I'm trying to knock one out, man. I'm trying to make it happen on Sunday nights. The truth of the matter is, this morning I had to get up early, and run to New Jersey, which is like a 2.5 hour or 3 hour drive for me. So I couldn't stay up last night because I knew I had to get up this morning to make that trip. But it's also why I'm so tired because I'm doing it tonight. But normally I can get my rest, but I was running around all day. So I'm happy you came up here. You know what I'm saying? Help me hold it down.
Yeah,
I was definitely tired, bro.
Yeah. No, it was a good show. Just Do was a pleasant surprise. I know that we were trying to do 2 hours. Hey, on the next one, remember, vertical. We got to try to do a vertical.
I got to hold on. Let me see something here.
No, that ain't it. You got to do it before we start a show because you already did. You already did it. You already did the horizontal format on this show. So when we're talking offline, I'll explain to you how to do it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That part.
That's funny.
Yo, salute to everybody in the building, man. You know what it is, the ATP Combat Media Show. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do that as well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, take an opportunity to go ahead and do that. Until the next one, it's your boy Clay, said ATP Combat Media Show. He said vertical streams are ass. Oh, okay. See, they don't like it, bro.
No, relax, Denzel. You don't know how the algorithm works. Relax. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean we're not gonna get more viewers. I'm trying to teach Clay about the space. So
until the next one, at this point, we out.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. Better me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like.